Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 114 of the Podcana podcast. This week, we are continuing our review of Fabled. This will be part 2 of the series. I think we're going to try to cover the rest of the cards within this episode, between everything that's been revealed to us so far at the time of recording, and then also there's going to be a dev talk tomorrow for us, but then it will be posted for you guys by the time this podcast comes out. And I'm pretty sure most of the cards will be out by then. But yeah, I wanted to jump through a lot of the ones that have been revealed over the past week. And we're starting off with some bangers. There are some that we've kind of missed initially, which we're going to go over. But there's some pretty cool ones like this 5-cost Amethyst Ursula, which seems to be pretty interesting. But let's start things off with Stitch Carefree Surfer. Moyen, what are your thoughts about this card coming back?
Well, the initial impression is like a lot of card draws leaving, this is staying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in Lorcana in general, you like every deck or almost every deck kind of needs some card draw, and it's like extremely aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
as you generally want to like ink a card, play a card at least, and you only draw one per turn. And this is a very efficient way to draw cards if you get to that stage without being under too much pressure. There's a lot of, like, for drawing too, there's also a very, very reasonable body attached to that effect. So, yeah, I think this could be even better than it was when we first had it.
I agree, yeah. I also think from a lot of the cards that we've seen so far, just general removal options have been decreased a lot, but even so in the previous meta, it's like like you said, if you play this card, it's still a 4/8. Like that's a really, really difficult body to remove. But now from what we've seen at least, like there's very little strength based removal besides the small human Sisu, right? If you want to do coil and human Sisu or something like that. But then even on the willpower side of things, we know that there's strength coming back, and there's a few cards we'll talk about further into this episode. But like a 4/8's not easy to get rid of at all. You're gonna have to be trading quite a few of your characters into it to be able to take it out. So yeah, I mean overall, I'm actually very, very happy to see this card return, and I also agree. I think it will be potentially even better than it was from sets 1 to 8. But
Yeah,
I think also
it already had like some good moments, right?
especially the early sets, right? And that's what I mean. It's like we're kind of going back to the little bit of lower power level, a little bit of lower interaction. So maybe this card will actually really shine again. Another one I'm not too sure if we talked about, but we can definitely mention it again, is this Lumiere, the 2-cost inkable 2/2 that gives your other characters +1 strength. This card saw a little bit of play within Ruby Amethyst, honestly, right? It kind of replaced, I think it replaced Flynn at a stage, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
right?
like we kind of had the stage where Flynn, like too many decks in the meta were good against Flynn on two, and the 2 drops were like options that Ruby Amethyst especially had weren't great. So like they were kind of looking for any 2-drop that at least sometimes like is a little bit higher impact, and this was one of them. I think, like, I guess there's still the application with Diablos if you combine it with Amethyst, which, okay, maybe turn 2 you don't always have something to turn into, but even later it could help maybe facilitate some sort of challenge. So yeah, I think this is also a very, very decent card.
I also think this card is very, very good, again, in a potential meta where there's like nothing like, Cindy Storm Ray John, basically,
Yes.
as an answer,
Yes.
right? That this was really going to be sticking on the board a lot more. It's nearly permanently going to be acting as this buff for all of your other characters unless your opponent has some strict removal against it. And this is nearly going to act like it's weird. It's like in the meta that we had previously where there was more removal, it was easy enough to remove, but imagine this card basically had ward, except the ward is just there's less removal within the meta, and you just never exert this, right? Does that make sense?
Sure. I guess there's still like strength, but at least it costs a card.
Yes.
Yeah, totally reasonable card.
The next one that I can see out of this that we missed last week was Robin Hood, the Daydreamer, 6-cost inkable 4/5 quest for 4. I know Spessy really liked this card at a stage, right? Yeah.
It's like it was also it's my number one like association with this card. It's also like, yes, Spessy liked this card.
Yeah. yeah. But like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean overall I have to say the this general stat line of a 6-cost 4/5, we've definitely seen that stat line played a lot, especially with the big Tamatoa. Has a lot. I mean, the big Tamatoa has a lot of payoff when you play it, and then when you're questing with it. And this is just like, okay, instead of the card just questing for 2, I guess it quests for 4. But again, in a meta without Zeus, you play this. You're pretty. I'd be pretty confident that I play this and I get the 4 lore at least once, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my intuition.
Yeah, and also it's okay. So Gantu can kind of do the same, right? Where it's like you play it, you probably get follow out of it. But the upside of Robin Hood is if your opponent wants to not let you get follow again, they have to invest quite a bit of like challenges into it because it's still a 4/5. So it's like one of the better vanilla cards.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think that's it for this slide, so we'll move on to slide 4. And again, I'm kind of scrolling through these cards live for you guys because a lot of them we've kind of covered previously. But I do believe we kind of ended on Hades, and we might have mentioned the Winnie the Pooh having a think without actually throwing up the card image. But we'll start off with this Little John, Sir Reginald, I believe. And yeah, this is one of the new cards. It's a 2-cost uninkable 2/2 quest for 1. When you play this character, choose 1. Chosen hero character gains resist +2 this turn, or deal 2 damage to chosen villain character. I don't know about constructed play, honestly, but I mean, for any type of draft or sealed, this seems like a super kind of flexible card. I want to say, however, the odds that, okay, my opponent has a villain and the value of the, like, I feel like you can much more easily build around the fact that you have a hero character in play at a certain time than your opponent happening to have a villain character in play at a certain time, right?
Yes, but the upside's much like dealing 2 to a character is much better than just like giving resist for a turn, resist +2 for a turn. So, like the scenario where I would see this have the biggest chance to actually see play is like if there's a lot of good villains.
Yeah.
That are like relevant, where this 2 damage breakpoint's relevant.
The first one that comes to mind for me, at least, is if we still just simply have like a Captain Hook on turn 1, right? That's a villain. Just get rid of their 1-drop, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
But what would be better is like, you know, like, I don't know, let's pretend something like Lumiere was a villain, right? And suddenly you're popping your opponent's 2-drop.
Or imagine like Diablo was a villain, the evasive one.
Is it not a villain? No, it has an ally tag, right? Yeah, it has an ally tag.
But like, if it was a villain, this would have been.
Yeah, and if Diablo was still in the meta, right?
A few ifs, but yeah.
I don't know. I think this card's like it's pretty interesting, and I don't know how much. But that's also the thing. Then it's like, okay, if there were any relevant villains, would people play this? Would they not play it? Would it like maybe an issue would catch people by surprise, and then if the villain card was so good that everybody had to play it, then this is just like the solid answer to it. But you'd also want hero characters within your deck. I don't know. It seems okay. It seems like an okay card.
Yeah, it seems okay, but it being uninkable is like a big downside for a card that's a lot of the time is just going to be a 2/2.
It's just going to be 2/2. True. The next one's Captain Hook, which we already talked about. We have LeFou Instigator. Yeah, this is just the 2-cost inkable 2/2 quest for 1. When you play this character, ready chosen character, they can't quest the rest of this turn. Was
your favorite card?
Was a playable card. I played it a lot. I played it a lot, and I played it in a meta where it was arguably like very, very strong. Again, it was like set 2 meta where sure, like, you know, Storm Rage on and stuff was introduced, and there was ways to deal with like your, you know, these 1/1s that quested for 3. But when you didn't play against a steel deck,
when you're playing like against a slow Ruby Amethyst deck, and you were playing like the fast Ruby Amethyst
deck. Everyone was playing like red purple in set 2, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just win the game before you can even say B prep, right? So yeah. I mean, I like the idea of this card, and just the mechanic of this card in general. Like, I know you actually messed around a lot with the Shield of Virtue, right? Which isn't getting a reprint so far from what we've seen. But do you want to, I guess, talk about maybe some other uses of this effect, or is the best use of the effect just to be able to like protect it, basically, right? Protect your character.
Yeah, I mean, there's some niche scenarios where you double challenge, or like you challenge and then sing, stuff like that. But it doesn't come up as often, I would say.
It's mainly for protection. Yeah. The next card here is Dewey, 3-cost inkable, 2/3 quest for 2 with support. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking over the Huey, Dewey, and Louise again because now there's like the 3 of them within Sapphire, and then there's the 3 new ones, which 2 of the 3 new ones were actually quite good. There was a 2-cost uninkable one that basically like ramps you ish, lets you pay 1 less for the next character you play, and then there's the 3-cost one that's a 3-cost inkable 2/3 quest for 2 that whenever it's challenged, the challenging character gets -1 strength. So the only reason I'm bringing these up is because I know that there's we actually might get to it, but I know that there's like the 2-cost inkable Sapphire Louis that says if you quest and you have Dewey and Louis on the board, you draw 3 cards or something like that. Again, I'm not saying we're gonna get into a meta with those type of things, but what you mentioned is like card draw is so important. It really is so important. So if there's any semi-consistent way where the rest of these cards have to be okay, then maybe you could play it. The issue I found was that I think it was whichever one it was the Huey or the Louis, one of them for being the Sapphire or the Amber, they were both like just 4 costs that were like pretty bad. Like one was just a 4-cost 4/4, and the other was like a 4-cost 3/4 with support or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So, all right, we're gonna move on to page 3, and now we should be getting into some more of the newer cards that we haven't mentioned. Starting off with this Ursula Voice Stealer, 5-cost inkable 3/4 with an Amethyst quest for 1. When you play this character, exert shows an opposing ready character. Then you may play a song with cost equal to or less than the exerted character's cost for free. Initial impressions, Moyen.
Well, initial impression is it has potential because it exerts something on a body, which is like, that's already decent. And then also you can use this card to get a song into play without having like a character on your board that could sing it.
You make your opponent's cards sing your song, which I think flavor-wise is so cool in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes, it is super flavorful. I guess like technically they don't sing the song. You just exert it and get to play the song.
Technically they don't, but it acts as if they sing it.
They sing it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like if you go into this a little bit deeper, I would say that to make this work, you kind of need like a good amount of songs that are good without being too conditional. So like that you can like exert any of their like 3, 4, of maybe even 5-cost character, and consistently have a song that nets you some sort of advantage. I think the easiest examples that come to mind on like cards that we did have, and we probably no longer will have, would be like Ursula, and then exert their character, sing Friends, or play Friends. Ursula, exert the character, play How Far I Go. It's like, okay, you get card advantage, you also have this body, you get a challenge into the exerted character. All of those would very much enable this card. So like this is one of the new cards with the most potential that I've seen. That being said, if we're lacking stuff that's like unconditionally good, so if we're lacking cheap songs that are unconditionally good and generate some sort of advantage, we can't make too much use out of this effect.
Yeah, like I'm even thinking of songs, and again, this is not as conditional as you're talking about, right? This is like very, very specific, but and it also depends on the board state. But if you basically just get them to sing something like a Bee King, that could maybe be like bad, but also maybe good, because most of the time, if they exert the character, and then Bee King is the song that you choose, they'll probably want to get rid of the exerted character, so then one of your characters can't trade into it. But then you could look at it like, okay, my 5-cost 3/4 just got rid of one of their characters, right?
Yeah.
Just remove the character.
But it still costed you like 2 cards.
It cost me 2 cards, exactly, yeah.
To like kind of be a Tremaine.
Yeah.
But it costed you like 1 was resource left and the Ursula's Inkable and stuff, and you needed them to have like a 4-cost somewhere. It's still not even that amazing.
No, it's not. Yeah, I can't. That's the issue. Is I actually can't think of 2. I think the example I've seen the most people talk about, honestly, but this is actually a very weirdly similar to the Bee King discussion, is being able to exert your opponent's card and then do How Far I'll Go. Oh no, sorry, not How Far I'll Go. Into the Unknown. Yes, that's the correct card. Into the Unknown.
So the dual ink removal, but it can only target exerted characters, and then it inks them. Or it inks a exerted character. And that is extremely similar. The upside is both of those cards are inkable. The downside is you're also giving your opponent an ink. So you use 2 cards to get a 3/4 into play and remove one of their 3 cost or more characters.
I think honestly though, like, that particular combo for, let's say something like Blurple versus Ruby, whatever, if they have something like a Maui Shark, is actually like, it is an option, yeah. But you're also using 2 cards in your hand, which is the thing, right? Like you could just wait until, like, you could just not exert any of your characters. Your opponent's Maui Shark could just quest, and then you could just play into the unknown to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, or even better, instead of playing 2 cards to get a 3/4 into play and remove it. Generally, I think this kind of play would only be efficient if you remove something very expensive, like maybe a half shark or maybe like a 7-drop or an 8-drop. At which stage you could also just play Hades, and it's like a better body, and it only costs you 1 card, and kind of like does the same thing as this like 2-card combo. Okay, so at the end, I feel like we sound very negative about this card. I think this card has so much potential, but I'm just trying to emphasize the kind of songs that you need in the card pool to make this card be a good card.
Cards that draw cards make this very good, right? Songs that
Sure,
draw cards.
yeah. Or it's like, I don't know if we don't really have that, but it's like, it doesn't need to draw cards. It just has to be like good in most situations. Imagine we had like a song that spawns like a 5/5 token. It's like, okay, a 5/5 token that quests for 1 or something. It's like, okay, that would usually not be bad. But it's like, that's something that's good in most situations. But yeah, card draw is also always good.
I mean, yeah, there's like the weird Ruby song that like tutors a location from your deck, or I don't know, what if you get
Sure, yeah, something like that. Get it. Look through your deck, find a location, put it into play. Like, it's just anything that's like.
Yeah, but the song doesn't put it into play is the thing, right? Like, it's just adds.
Yes,
to your hand.
no, yeah. I was still like crafting up a card that would be very good for this.
Sure, yeah. Like, that's actually the biggest issue. Yeah, with friends leaving and even how far I'll go and stuff. There's so many few cards that allow you to draw cards now. And then even some songs, I feel like it gets so expensive that it's like really, really tricky.
Yeah, also, I guess what's a little bit annoying is that you cannot use it for like a sing together.
Yeah, you can't do like a Beyond the Horizon, or you can't do
make your opponent card.
A draw 5 card, make your opponent's characters exert so they sing Under the Sea on themselves or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That would be cool. Yeah, you cannot do that.
I mean, technically, if there's an 8 cost, you could do it, but how often is there going to be an 8 cost on your opponent's side of the board?
You can't like have a 3-drop into play and they have a 5-drop and then go like Ursula Under the Sea.
Yeah. But yeah, I do agree with you. Like, a lot of potential, a lot of fun, and as we get more songs, this card always gets more interesting over time.
Right.
So.
Like, this is for this card, it's super easy to, even if the card pool isn't right for it yet, which is possible, with every set, with every new song that comes out, we can kind of just go back to this card and see like, oh, maybe this card's good enough now.
Next card we have is Eeyore, just a 5-cost inkable, 4/5 with resist 1, so just a vanilla card. It's a body. Honestly, if this cost 1 less, you could say this is it's a little bit better than a Chillwind Yeti, right? So this could have been a 4-cost 4/5 with resist 1, but
I mean, okay, resist 1. It's like that is text on the card.
Yeah. So
but
it constitutes
like
an entire. Yeah, it makes the card cost one more. Yeah. Mulan, 1-cost Mulan, another shift target for the Mulan you like, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't like to shift it though. I like to rush it from hand.
Sure. How often can we do that now?
Maybe not, but then I don't play the card.
With the pocket watch, you can do it, right? That's about it.
Sure.
Or the. That is actually interesting, but I've also been thinking about what other cards can we get to make stuff rush, and it's pretty much the pocket watch and still the 1-cost Cogsworth.
Yeah, the Cogsworth. The Cogsworth actually not bad. If you have like enough cards in hand, pretty good card.
You pay one extra just to basically give something rush, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the Cogsworth Illuminary Watchman, which gives something.
Oh right, wasn't Cogsworth exactly like this card in? I might be tripping, wasn't it? Like exactly like a card in Hearthstone, like a broom that gave everything rush.
Yeah, but broom, the animated broomstick,
Yeah.
was Wash itself, and it gave your entire board Wash.
Yeah, it's a very good card. It's a very good card.
Slightly different.
Very, very strong card, yeah. We got Li Shang back, which is just a 5-cost 5/5 quest for 2. They've brought back a lot of these 5-cost 5/5s that quest for 2, right? They brought back Li Shang, but the Honey Wizard, Viviana or whatever her name is, the Emerald Emerald 5/5. Yeah, I don't know. They must like that stat line. Arguably in sealed and draft, it's good, right? I always play them in sealed and draft.
Fun fact: when I qualified for Continentals in Bologna with Blue Steel, this card was in heavy consideration for the deck.
Li Shang?
No, yes, because you were just like you were ramping. You needed like stuff that can sing Holy World, and you needed to like turn off Sisus and stuff, and like you needed to have. I was playing Babooms, so like 5 strength helped you take out castles together with Baboom. It still didn't make the cut, but like.
That's interesting that you were considering a 5/5 vanilla. Wow, that's crazy. We've got Ursula's Shell Necklace. 3-cost inkable. Whenever you play a song, you may pay 1 to draw a card. This card never really saw play, right?
I mean, it does say draw a card, but it's like giga expensive.
Yeah, it's very, very expensive to take a turn off for this. But yeah, I don't know. And also, this card's actually in this current meta, it would probably be the worst it's ever been because the number of songs will be at the lowest it's ever been, right? Just because of rotation as well. So there's a lot less options. Enchantress, 2-cost inkable, 1/1 quest for 2. When it's being challenged, this character gets +2 strength. Honestly, again, just like in a meta with like less removal, suddenly this card is a little bit better if you can't efficiently remove it.
Like, I don't love. Like, okay, I think the card's completely fine. The reason I don't love it is like, if you draw this card going second, and then maybe your opponent is the one that's questing, and you want to challenge the characters, this card's so bad. It's like this card just says I can basically only quest.
Sure.
And like, okay, it's very decent at that because it quests for 2, and if they swing into it, there's 3 strength. But
it's ink if you go second.
It's very It's very sad to draw this going second.
Oh look, it's the card we revealed. This world's greatest criminal mind.
Where again?
We have Max Goof, Rockin' Teen, 3-cost inkable, 4/3. Quest for 1, Singer 5. This character can't move 2 locations. I do like the ability that I can't move 2 locations just because it's flavorful. It's not very very good. Like there's no reason why you wouldn't want it to move locations, but it's like it's like this teenager that's grounded, which I kind of find funny, right? But yeah, I mean, what do you think about the stat line of a Singer 5 4/3? Gets rid of 2 4s if there's 2 4s in the meta.
It's better than Gaston.
Gaston is a 3/3. True. But for 1 more strength, it can't move to locations. Woo!
Which I would probably rather have 1 more strength and not be able to.
Sure.
Like I would rather be grounded if that means I have 1 more strength.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I mean, I guess I'd like to pick your brain on just this idea of having Singer within Ruby now. Like, do you think that opens up some potential, like, interesting possibilities for maybe some sing together combinations that like Ruby and X could do now, rather than previously maybe the sing togethers were always good with Amber plus something because of the Singer tag?
Yeah, no, I think that's very interesting. I think there was like a comment on last week's pod where someone wasn't like the biggest fan of maybe now everything can do any color can do anything if you're like mixing it up too much. But I feel like that's not really the case. It's just like, I think it's fair to have every ink color be able to like change their identity or like at least twist it a little bit throughout the sets. I don't think they should always just be the same. And I think it's good like that not every color all like has Singer keyword at the same time, but I think it's like, oh, Ruby has Singer now. That's cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I've also looked at this kind of song card pool for this set so far. Singer 5. I don't think there's anything specifically that costs 5 that's very good. There could be in the future, but the Singer 5 is actually very relevant for some of the sing together songs that I've noticed, right? It's like this plus another 3 dropped is like Under the Sea or something like that, potentially, right?
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. Next we have Powerline, 3-cost inkable, 4/3, quest for 1. If you've played a song this turn, this character gains Rush this turn. What do you think about this?
It reminds me of Fox, right?
Yep.
Because
Very similar
it's a
to Fox.
4-3 that can sometimes have rush. That can't be too bad. It's like, okay, you don't get to bounce something, but you don't always want to bounce something.
The best situation, I don't know if it's the best situation, but if you have in my opinion, you've still got Vanellope von Schweetz within Ruby, right, which is this 3-1 evasive, which I think that stat line again. I feel like I just keep repeating myself saying with less removal in the meta, but if we truly don't see Storm Rage on, that stat line I think is pretty good. And then if you have that card, and then you play Powerline on a 3, and if there's any decent 2-drop song, suddenly that seems quite interesting to me because you're kind of like, I like the idea of an evasive character singing because it's more chance that it survives if your opponent doesn't have an evasive as well, and then suddenly you power up your Powerline to be able to take something out. So it depends on what the 2-drop songs could be, but I actually do kind of like that line of play.
Yeah, and I guess there's also like if there's like a 2-drop with singer something, maybe that enables this as well, because then you can sing a more expensive song.
Well, there is, right? There's the Powerline that's singer 4. That's a 2-drop. Yeah.
Yeah, like the 2-2 singer 4, right?
3-2 singer 4. Yeah.
3-2 even. Yeah. So it has decent synergy with that, especially like this is a very good anti-aggro card as like that's where it's most effective to just have a character come in, take out something, survive that, next turn take out the next thing. That's how you gain control of the board very, very quickly. And even you might like if you end up having enough songs and where like this ends up being a good card, this even has the impact of maybe your opponent won't want to exert characters that are like that could get punished by Powerline musical superstar plus a song.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a really, really big fan of this card, and I'm curious to see the different ways that it might be utilized. And interestingly enough as well, it's also an additional shift line for the big power line, right? You've got the 2-drop one, and you've also got this one that if your opponent doesn't want to, like, if you feel like you have to play this, your opponent doesn't have anything exerted anyways, then all of a sudden, this is just lining up for your power line shift potentially.
Yep. And of course, it's less efficient if you shift on something more expensive, but like the shift power line can be so explosive that you might just be okay doing it.
We've got Beaking Undisputed, which we've talked about a little bit. Then we have, do you want to talk about Beaking within the context? Because I guess we keep talking about removal. It's some removal, technically, right?
Yeah. But it is actually removal that's worse if there's less removal. Because if there's less removal, you can't like, you can't just have, like, you cannot set it up so that they only have one big character as easily.
True. Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the few songs that synergizes pretty well with that 2-cost Singer 4, though. There's not many other, like, 4-cost songs that I think I'm going to get, like, ultra giga value out of, especially in the early game. Like, if you, I don't know, like, how efficient is it for you to just sing this in the super early game to remove your opponent's card? Maybe it's okay, but, I mean, it's honestly, it's like, it could be fine if they just have that one character, you use the 2-drop power line to sing it, and then you just establish another character yourself, right? Could be fine. Next card is Mulan Free Spirit. It's just the 3-cost inkable 2/3 with support that quests for 2. It's a fine stat line. 4-cost inkable, I find in my Platinum, banish all items. We talked about it on last week's episode of the podcast where I felt like I wasn't really sure what direction these item decks could go in, especially since we're losing a lot of key items from the previous set. Most notably, something like a big draw engine like Maurice's Workshop we haven't seen confirmed to be a reprint at all. Popsicle, I feel like a lot of people are still holding out hope. Honestly, for the survivability of item decks, a part of me is too. Like, I know Popsicle is a very, very powerful card, and it's seen play in almost every Sapphire deck, right? But I also like how important Popsicle is for the synergy of the item decks as well, right? I think it's actually very important.
So many cards that are unplayable without something like a Popsicle.
Exactly. So, I feel like I find in my Platinum, even previously, hasn't seen, like, some people play that as like a 1 or a 2 of, but I'm glad that it's still within the, like, standard set, because in the future, if item decks become super good again. But that's the funny thing, even when item decks were super good, this card still didn't really see that much play, right?
Yeah, it saw some play, but it was like the worst card you could put into your deck in that meta. It did not do anything. at least not anything close to like making up for it doing nothing in most matchups.
Sure. Mickey Mouse.
So I guess I'm happy it's back.
Yeah.
So that people hopefully put it
Hopefully put it in their deck to make their deck worse. Sure, sure. Mickey Mouse True Friend, which I feel like is the card that has the most copies ever in Lorcana. I'm pretty sure this is the most variants, or the most alt arts and alt borders or whatever. Louis Chill Nephew. This is just a reprint of one of the bad 4-drops that I said. 4-cost Inkable 3, 4-cost for 2 with support within Sapphire. Pongo Determined Father. I used to play this card back when it first came out in set 3 in Ruby Amber.
And what was your experience with it?
I mean, back in that meta, it was in Ruby Amber specifically. It was fine, but I don't know. This card never blew me away.
Okay.
But I don't know. I honestly don't know how to feel about this card coming back because it feels very slow. Am I ever just paying 3 to play a 3/2? Like, maybe?
It's like a draw engine on a character. You can pay 2 to draw a character.
Did you ever play this card, Moyen?
Probably, but like not very much. I also wasn't that impressed because, like, in theory, this card kind of looks decent, I think, as like a draw engine on a character. And I can even exert it at times if I'm like, okay, now I need some more tempo. Or like I can use it to challenge after I've used it a little bit. But in at least so far, it was always like too slow. It's you sit there just paying 3, never using your character, then paying 2 for a couple of turns to get some more characters. But it's like in that time, you often
are losing the game
so far on board. And it's also like when this card was played, it was always played in decks where they weren't very good at recovering the board. They always needed to be like very proactive.
Or they needed to high roll, right, off of other stuff like Mufasa dying and, I don't know, getting a dragon or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, but even like Mufasa can be a great card. And when you're like on 15 lower ahead on the board and you like play this and like, oh, even if they remove this, I have a character. But if you have to challenge their board or deal with their board from behind, there was just no good tools in that deck.
The Queen, Wicked and Vain from set 1. 5-cost Inkable 4/5. Quest for 1. Exert it to draw a card. This card did see some play in set 1.
Yes, in set 1.
Yeah.
I think it was decent if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, it was okay in set 1, honestly, yeah. I feel like it's just way too slow now. I mean, you could get one use out of it if you want, but the use you're getting out of it is a delayed draw card, right?
Yeah, and to then have an exiled character on the board the turn after you've played.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, but an interesting one to talk about is, I believe... I'm incorrect. I was about to say the very first legendary action. That's incorrect because we've had the Return of Hercules. But this is Circle of Life. It's an 8-cost Inkable Amber song. Sing together 8. Play a character from your discard for free. I have to say the art on this card in general is absolutely amazing. Like the clouds being the animals and the sun in the background being the big like Lorcana illuminary thing. Zazu and the frame break. So the art's amazing. Everything about this card looks cool, but Moyen, competitive evaluation. What do we think?
Well, it's kind of like that type of card that sparks your interest because you're like, okay, this can cheat out a big thing. And if you have like anything that has the potential to cheat resources, you have to look like a little bit deeper into it. And it's inkable. So if this was uninkable, I would say, okay, we don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah, if it was uninkable, that's like, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, because then there will be so many situations where you can't sing it or you don't have a big character in your discard. But with it being inkable, we have to look for, okay, what do we need to make this card be good? We need a big character in the discard. So like we need some way to get it there. Maybe like self-mill or discard from hand.
Yeah, like a Mulan or something like that, right? Like draw, discard a big card.
Mulan is set 7?
Mulan, yes, I believe so. Yeah. The 2-1.
Mulan is like a great example because it's a fine card on its own that you like don't mind putting in your deck too much. And it just lets you like hand pick with the draw discard your biggest character from your hand. But then you also need like a way to sing this, so you probably
You'd
want
play like Troubadour, right? For Singer 4, maybe.
Yeah, but you need something like Troubadour, like some singer abilities, and then you can like cheat a huge thing into play, which like that can be a win condition in its own way.
That's what's quite interesting. Yeah, it's like I don't like the idea of trying to go too crazy on this combo, where I think people can get lost in the sauce of like, oh, I want to cheat out this crazy big thing that I usually wouldn't play in my deck, but if I cheat it out, I win the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like some people have been talking about the 10 cost uninkable Mickey Mouse, right? That quests for 5. Yeah. I think that's a little bit crazy, but for me, like,
but that actually wins the game. That's a bodyguard that quests for 5.
Okay, so you're just okay. So I'm saying this is an example of a card I wouldn't do, and you're telling everyone, no, put this in your deck. This is what we want.
Well, I would still be very hesitant to put the Mickey in my deck because it's uninkable. But imagine like this Mickey was inkable. This would be like a great target. Like, okay, so usually I ink this, but if I ever play my Mulan, I will put it in my discard, and then if I ever get to sing this song, suddenly I have like this huge body on my board.
Okay, someone's gonna do this now. Someone is gonna make this a deck and are gonna like put all of the singer cards that cost like 2 or 3 in their deck and pull this off instantly.
Also, you know the Mickey, it says when this character is banished, deal 5 damage to each opposing character. So you could even like remove it yourself if you need the board clear.
How could you remove it yourself?
Didn't we reveal the card? Does it say opposing character, world's greatest criminal mind? Or does it just say any character?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if it says opposing. I have a feeling it says opposing. I don't know why you would want to banish your own character.
Well, because sometimes maybe my opponent's winning, like they flood the board, they're like, oh no, I am facing this 10 drop. I have to win quickly or I lose the race. Flood the entire board, you go, bam, world's greatest.
You're explaining like Shadow Flame from Hearthstone, right? Where you sack the card and like
that's right. World's greatest criminal mind on Mickey is a Shadow Flame.
Yeah. Or it's like a flame, or it's like a flame strike +1, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's half a Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying that's like the main way to use it, but
did you check the card? Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
We revealed it. I remember.
Oh, Radigan. Yeah. Okay, let me talk about another card of an example where I think is, maybe not so much Magical Christmas Land, but in general this is still a pretty I would still argue it's a pretty difficult combo to pull off. But the difference is if you only play like 2 Circle of Life in your deck and the rest of your deck is like semi-consistent, it's like, oh yeah, like as you said, worst case scenario, I'll just ink the Circle of Life and play my deck's normal game plan. But the idea of a card I like to cheat out is something like a Surfer Stitch. If you get that out really early, you've got these singers on the board that you've used to do the Circle of Life. You're going to draw 2 cards as well, and you've got this 4/8 body on the board, right?
Yeah, no, Maleficent, not Maleficent. Surfer Stitch, also a great example, because most, like, okay, I guess the conditions met, because if you're saying this, you probably have 2 characters on the board. It's always a good body. Drawing cards also unconditionally decent or good. Yeah, the Surfer Stitch is a great example.
Yeah. I think so far from what I've seen, it's like the Amber Steel stuff potentially makes the most sense, because you have like like Steel has the stuff where you kind of draw and discard. Although Emerald does have some of that with the new 1-cost Bobby card that we've seen, and it also has like the 2-cost Yzma. But I'm trying to think of like, okay, if I have Emerald in my deck, like what else am I gaining, right? But there's options and there's stuff to look into. Like we're looking at this card like with a very fresh perspective, right? Without having like doing much digging.
Yeah, no, this is not about like, oh, this will definitely see play in this exact format. No, this is more like this card. We have to look into it deeper for this and this reason, because it cheats resources.
Because it cheats resources.
Then we look for the conditions under which this card could be good, and we find some of them. So it's like not a card. Some of these cards I would like go very quickly into saying, oh no, it's too conditional, won't happen often enough. I'm not even going to look into it further. But this card, I'm at least like, sure. When the set's out, I'll at least take a look at what we can do with the card.
Sure, yeah. The next card is Genie of the Lamp. 4-cost inkable 2/3 quest for 2 with evasive, and while this character is exerted, your other characters get +2 strength. I don't know. When I saw this genie, I was like, yeah, we're gonna be in a genie meta where, the 4-cost genie and this genie are incredibly strong. And what I really liked about this card is that when it's exerted, obviously buffs everything, but this isn't just like, I don't know. I could see some previous Disney Lorcana cards that have been designed like this card could have said like, while this card is exerted, your other characters get +2 strength this turn, right? Which means that like you quest with it, you buff up all of your characters, and then you use your characters to basically kind of trade up. That's a way I could have seen the card being designed. But I'm glad that it was actually like, that restriction of this turn is also taken away, so that while this is exerted, your opponent is very much forced to have to try and want to deal with this genie first before even trying to tackle your other characters potentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yes, it makes sense. I think especially, but like I kind of come from a different angle. I think I don't think this card's that powerful, and I think if it was only on your turn or only for one turn when you exert this, I think it would be like very underpowered. I guess it kind of like it's not like terribly weak, but it struggles with the issue of 4-cost low stats in maybe a meta where like Genie Elsa are still going to be quite
I feel like we keep repeating ourselves with that, but I also agree it's very much going to be a thing. I very much think so.
Or even Iago and then Elsa. Iago trades this.
Yeah. All right, the next one is Hey, Bumbling Rooster, 3-cost inkable, 2/3 quest for 2. When you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their inkwell than you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down exerted. Have you messed around with this card at all, Moyen?
Probably not, but like I still like that this card exists because I like every card that says play draw disparity is a little bit mitigated. Have you played with this?
I haven't, but there's a few people in my locals back in Ireland that like really like this card. They played it like a decent amount within like their Emerald Amethyst builds, and every time they played it against me, I was like, oh yeah, like suddenly gets them to a stage that I wasn't really expecting them to be at already. For example, in that particular deck, right, like you play Hey, and then suddenly they could already be on the Elsa turn when you weren't expecting them to be on the Elsa turn already, right? Like stuff like that. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was quite interesting, and it didn't seem like absolutely insane, but it surprised me when it was played against me for, how good it was for that play draw disparity, right? How efficient it was. Do you recognize the next card, Moyen? Last ditch effort.
Of course. It's the Podcana special. The last ditch effort is back. It's not the worst card. I think I've faced it in a tournament once.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember trying to explain why I thought this card would potentially have some benefit. Like, I was like, oh, you exert the character and you kind of buff up your smaller character, and it's like, yeah, but this card is uninkable, and it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, it's not a great card.
Yep. We have Peter Pan's Shadow. 4-cost inkable, 2/3 quest for 2. Rush evasive. Your other characters with rush gain evasive. So this card did see some play at a stage, but I would argue that the Peter Pan Shadow Finder saw a lot more play than this card, right?
Yes, but like, if the Shadow Finder isn't here, that kind of puts the Peter Pan's Shadow back on the map. This card saw play before Peter Pan Shadow Finder was printed, and it might see play again. It's like, if you have like some great started rush characters that you already have on the board, you play this, take out like kind of like try to take control in evasive wars. No, I like that this card's back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to see like a lot of the. Is there many rush cards that I've seen?
There's the Goofy
return.
Like, you could play it and not use it to rush. Then you like play this 4-cost, maybe sing a song with your 2-cost.
Oh, you mean the power line? You mean, not the Goofy?
Yeah.
When you said the Goofy, I was so confused because there's a card in the game already that's a 6-cost uninkable Ruby Goofy already with rush and evasive. So I was like, why would you want to play that with this card? I'm like, what? Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, has been reprinted. I don't know. Like this card was pretty good when it came out in set 3. Saw a lot of play, and I think even whenever
I play again.
Yeah, I think it's a very good card still. Honestly,
we haven't seen the 2/2 yet, have we?
the 2/2, the 1-cost one. No, I don't think so. We've only seen the 2-cost uninkable one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, which that's still a decent target, but at least you like have to put an uninkable into your deck to enable that and use up your 2-cost.
I don't think we've seen the 1-cost come back yet, and that was very efficient of playing the 1-cost, playing a very efficient 2-drop then, and then following up with this. Like I feel like having to put the 2-cost uninkable to make this work. I don't know. Still, you shift this on 3. I still feel like it's really, really strong.
Yeah, it can be. I guess the very big, remarkable downside is usually it was good tempo, and then at some point you use this to sing Holy World. But now you might just run out of cards if you like go for this.
I don't know. Like, okay, I guess while we're talking about Whole New World and stuff, like I've really been thinking about it as more of the card pool keeps getting revealed. Like, what are your thoughts on Beyond the Horizon in this newish type of meta? Like, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about it, but I can see it potentially being okay in certain decks, like in an Emerald Steel type of deck, maybe.
No, yeah, I think it has potential. It's like, it's not the type of card where I'm like thrilled to build my deck around it, because like it's not like incredibly powerful usually when you get it off, but it can still be powerful.
The next card is Lantern. Lantern is coming back. Just a efficient ramp card that definitely saw play for at least the first 2 sets consistently.
It's ramp on 2. And it's actually like ramp on 2 that still lets you play 1-drop on turn 2. It's character based ramp, or like item based ramp that refers to you playing characters, but
that you can instantly use as well, compared to something like the new Dewey, right, where it's a body that basically has this effect, but you can't instantly use it to get the 1-drop.
Yeah, I wanted to say there's nothing wrong with turn 2 ramp, but I kind of like, I don't like having turn 2 ramp in the game.
Really?
It sometimes makes it. Yeah, like okay, you wouldn't expect it because like I've played it so much, but I don't play it because I like it. I play it because like I think the Lorcana cards that let you ramp on turn 2 are so powerful. Like Tipo and Sail are incredible. And even Lantern's very, very strong. So
yeah,
I think it's strong.
Oh no, I like the card as well. Yeah, just talking about like ramp in general in card games. Like I don't know. I was watching some like old Hearthstone stuff recently where it was like Druid mirror matches or whatever. It's like, oh, they hit, and it's the same in Lorcana. It's like, oh, they hit the ramp on 2. I didn't hit the ramp on 2. Oh, GG, I guess. You know, the whole joke of I guess I just lose the game. But
yes,
it kind of happens. You know, like
it can happen. And, like I guess it's good in Lorcana. Like it's kind of a blessing in Lorcana that Red Blue has ramp on 2 like 94-ish% of the time.
You know, it's even increased more of the time. If well, I guess previously you could, if you wanted to, you could have ran 12 different ways to ramp on 2, because you could have played 1-jump in your deck as well. But 1-jump's also getting reprinted, which we'll get to. So you can still play 12 different ways to ramp if you really want to.
I mean, yeah, even with like 8, it was like 92-ish%.
Yeah.
But then if you account for like Popsicle, Develop Your Brain, it gets even higher.
Yeah.
Which was, I think it's kind of a blessing, because imagine if you like hit ramp 50% of the time. And then it happens so much more that you like play a mirror and then one player hits ramp, the other one doesn't. Because you tended to have ramp on 2, like almost all games, or most games. It didn't feel like, oh no, suddenly I don't have a chance because they hit the ramp. It felt like, okay, yes, they ramped onto it. That's
you're used to it happening. Exactly. Yeah. The next one is second star to the right. The 10-cost uninkable, sing together 10, chosen player draws 5 cards. I mean,
what do you think?
This card never saw play before. I really don't think it's ever going to see play again. I just can't. It's exactly what you said, though. It's like, sure, if I get some singers and they pull this off, wow, I cannot have multiple copies of this being drawn in my deck. It's a 10-cost uninkable. Like, come on.
Also, it kind of ties into, what was the 7-cost card where you like look at the top 5, take 2 characters? Doesn't matter. Okay,
the Amber one, right? Yes, the Amber one. It's like the Madrigal House, whatever it is. Yeah. Look at this family.
So yeah, because when we talked about that card, we were like, okay, you exert your characters, which is usually like bad tempo because your opponent gets to deal with them efficiently or like trade into them. So like the cards that you get out of this card need to help you mitigate that. Which this card could do better than just looking for like 2 characters, because you see 5 cards and you could even find like some actions or something that affect the board a little bit more immediately. But the downside is this is uninkable. And if you play like, imagine ever there's a meta, people play multiple copies of this, and you're like, okay, I will always remove just enough so that you don't have Singer 10. So that you have like, I can leave up Singer 9 in total, sing together 9, but I think this card can be like played around, and
this card's just
it's quite clunky. But it says draw 5, so like,
I don't know.
I will never write a card off that says draw 5.
I kind of
on
will.
A song.
I will write off a card that's.
I'm not writing it off.
Especially we've got Ursula too in the game as well still. So like, you just I'll just pop this song. The funny thing I'll mention about this card is I have actually played this card and you sing together on this before.
Too. In Seal.
I was about to say in Seal. I did it in Bochum.
It was so good.
Yeah. Oh, it won me the game. Yeah. It was insane. I used it was actually especially efficient in Sealed with like evasive cards, because how your opponent, like, that's exactly what you described, right? They can't trade into that then, so you don't lose tempo.
Yeah. And also, like, you just have so many standoffs, so like you get to sync together 10 pretty consistently.
I know. Okay, if you were to play this card in a deck, like, you'd have to play like a 1 of, maybe a 2 of, right? There's no. Well, what's the reason to play multiple? Like, you know.
Yeah, because you don't get to use this type of card very often, and on top of that, when you ever do get to play this card, you don't need a second, and you don't want to draw into more at that time. You need like other cards that impact the board.
Next one is Ursula, Deceiver, that we mentioned. One of my favorite cards of all time. One of my partner's, Kim's, most hated cards of all time. Kim really hates this card. But a necessary...
You play songs and you play Ursula.
Yeah. A necessary evil, in my opinion. And also, it teaches players that play uninkable songs how to manage this. Like, I was speaking to somebody who was playing a lot of green-blue, and they were telling me, like, yeah, if I was against Emerald, I would just know, like, you know, if I potentially had this hand where I could use something like a Tipo or whatever to get rid of these songs, so their Ursula doesn't get value. They were like, I actually love when they play the Ursula on 2, and I proudly show them my hand with no songs in it.
No songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like, no, Ursula made for so many great moments where you like, I have to ink this song because of Ursula. And your opponent's like, maybe doesn't play the Ursula, but you had more songs in hand.
Yeah.
Or I think some like more nuanced gameplay decisions are like later in the game, where maybe you have like a little bit of a read on your opponent's hand, and also like on the game state you have to decide, I could keep a song in hand, but maybe they play like Prince John Ursula, and then I get giga punished. But then you have to like evaluate, do I need to play for being able to use the song next turn, because if I do get to use it, maybe that puts me back in the game or something. Like, in general, it is actually quite a fun card, and every time someone does play Ursula and misses, it's really, like, it's not great. They've played a 2-cost 1/3 that lets you look at your opponent's hand. It's like the 1-cost 1/2 Diablo, but just like you pay 1 extra to have 1 more willpower if you miss.
It's actually quite interesting as well, though, because like in the previous metas, like, there's times where I've just played this as a 2-drop, and I literally haven't cared if they have a song. I wanted to have a song to get this guy, but to set up other stuff, right? But I do agree, in a meta where maybe you're not trying to do, like, you know, Prince John on 3, sing Sudden Chill. If you're just literally there for the 1/3, it really doesn't feel that great. But I just like how versatile this card can be, where a lot of the times if you have it on 2, you'll often play it, but then, you know, you previously used to save it for a critical time, you know, maybe on like turn 6 just before your opponent beat preps, or like, you know, you feel like this is the most optimal time to potentially play it, stuff like that. Robin Hood, Unrivaled Archer, 6-cost inkable 4/4 quest for 2. When you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their hand than you may draw a card, and during your turn this card gets evasive. I don't think I've ever played this card, but I think it's seen some play in set 1 a little bit.
Yeah. No, this card was like, in so many formats, it was like not that far off from being playable. But like, it was still usually worse than some other options you've had. But like, Quill into this is like a classic, because then you have like less cards, you're inked to exactly 6, and get to use this. So it can be decent as like an anti-evasive stick.
Sure.
It also quest like it does everything decently well. It doesn't do anything incredibly well.
Sure. Next one is Family Fishing Pole, a new card. 2 cost, inkable. This item enters play exerted. You exert it, pay 1, banish this item, return chosen exerted character of yours to your hand to gain 2 lore. This is crazy. Gone are the days where we have just good, efficient bounce cards, right? The difference from set 2 bounce cards to let's pay 2 for this. It comes in exerted. Let's exert it, pay another 1, banish the item, and then return chosen exerted character of yours to your hand to gain 2 lore.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's to some extent it's fair that it's expensive, because imagine it was like it came in ready and it doesn't cost something to exert. It doesn't cost anything to use it. Oh, it's also on banish.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason I thought it's like, okay, exert this, pay an ink, and like this stays on the board.
Stays on the board? No, that's too good. I mean, and that would be okay. But
that might be okay, but this is
the banish makes this card very, very bad. Yeah, I feel like if the banish wasn't on this card, and again in some weird meta, like an Oswald green-blue deck was played, this card would probably see play in it.
Maybe. And also, I guess you could say, oh, if we don't have something like Popsicle, at least you can like banish this and get it back with Tamatoa.
Sure.
And then you can replay it, and then next turn you can banish it to bounce your Tamatoa. You play the Tamatoa, you gain back your fishing pole.
Wow, you've actually just broken the game, Moyen. You've actually just broken the game. Found the next god combo. All right, let's move on to page 2. The next one that we have is PJ Pete Caught Up in the Music. It's a 4-cost inkable 3/5 that quests for 1. It says whenever you play a song, this character gets +2 strength to this turn. I don't think this card's very good. When you play a song, it is a 4-cost 4/5. That's inkable, sure, but I mean that condition has to be met all the time, right? Yeah.
It's not good on your opponent's turn. It's pretty bad.
Yep. Roxanne, though. Okay, we got to talk about this card. People, not me, people are calling this the new Smee. Which I honestly don't know if that's the case, because how often are you going to be having that singer, right? So it's a 2-cost inkable 2/3, quest for 1. While you have a character with singer in play, this character gets a +1 strength and +1 lore. The way to think about this card is, especially in the early game, okay, either we have a singer on 1 so that this always comes into play as a 3/3 that quests for 2, or it just stays as a 2/3 and then on turn 3 you play a singer card and then this buffs the card up then. I think the latter is going to be the case most of the time, because I just think
I hope we don't get 1-cost singers.
Cheap card, like I don't think we're going to be getting Cinderella Ballroom Sensations anytime soon, but at least this plus like the Max Goof that we've seen, or even just like the 2-cost power line is something. But yeah, you have to evaluate this within basically I don't know, like there has to be enough Ruby Singer cards, which so far we've seen 2, I think, that are like fairly cheap besides Powerline, or you have to play this in Ruby Amber. Like you just have to play this in Ruby Amber.
Yeah, but I guess you also kind of want to play this type of card in something like Ruby Steel. Just like, I would love to have this card in a deck where I can sing Strength, and then like with the flooded board full of Roxannes and Singers, they actually get to like quest very efficiently. But then there needs to be like enough good singers and songs in that deck.
Yeah.
I would say like the biggest caveat or the biggest downside of this card is of like this. There's a problem that I've seen on so many cards that like kind of seem okay, but they all kind of had the same problem in like different TCGs, which is when this is a 2-cost 3/3 quest for 2. Yes, that's above rate. That's great. But if it refers to something that's on your board, exerting this to quest for 2 often can run into like very swingy turns where your opponent does remove your singer, and now I challenge your Roxanne that's only a 2/3 and like I value trade it or something. So it's always the risk with running cards like this.
We've got Bobby Zimaruski. This is the 1-cost inkable 1/2 that when you play it, you can draw a card and then choose and discard a card. Cards like this we've seen are fine, right? Yeah, like it's a filter card.
I prefer the 2/1 stat line by like a mile to the 1/2 stat line. But still, like 1 cost, draw, discard enables some stuff.
Yep.
It's decent.
We've got the mini Rapunzel making a return. Julieta Madrigal, the 3-cost inkable 1/4 quest for 1. When you play this card, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. If you remove damage this way, you may draw a card. Fine card that saw some play within Ruby Amber specifically because you could guarantee that a lot of your characters had damage on them initially. But even if that's not the case, like you can just trade into something and then play this the same way you would with Rapunzel, how everybody expected it, right? You know, so fine card,
So it's a
but
more fair Rapunzel.
yeah, it's a more fair Rapunzel, but I don't know if people are gonna play a more fair Rapunzel. Maybe
Yeah,
they
people
will.
don't. People want Rapunzel. They don't want a fair
Yeah,
Rapunzel.
they want a fair Rapunzel. Yeah. Aurelian Gyro Sensor, 2-cost inkable. Whenever one of your character's quests, you may look at the top card of your deck, put it on either the top or bottom of your deck. So this is actually basically when they quest, you scry. Because I remember I said this last time of like scry 3, but it's no, you just look at the top 3 and you couldn't put them on the bottom. This is actually scry on quest.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, but I mean,
have you ever played this card?
This card was always offered. I mean, I guess this could only see play for you like really need to see the top card of your deck for something like the Bruno Madrigal.
Sure.
But like you would need to like have giga payoff to enable something like this because other than that, it doesn't scrying 1 doesn't do enough.
Sergeant Tibbs, which is just a 1-cost inkable 2/2. Oh, Moyen. They shouldn't have reprinted the card. They shouldn't have done it. I can't believe it.
I missed the time so much. Ink on 1, pass. Ink on 2, Magic Mirror. Ink on 3, play Magnificent, draw a card. On 4, sing Friends,
Draw a card.
draw 2 cards. Ink, activate my Magic Mirror, draw a card. You can never catch up on card advantage.
Card ramps, back in the days when they couldn't play Daisy on 1 into Piglet into Lady into I don't know.
The only thing people were doing was like playing maybe a Lilo into a Simba or something.
That was the fastest they would go back in the day, right?
Yeah, that was the fastest.
Yeah.
And it was decently fast, but like, you could come back from that.
Yeah. Daisy Duck, Musketeer Spy, 4-cost inkable 2/3. Quest for 1. When you play this character, each opponent chooses and discards a card. Lemon Lime discard survives. Sure.
No John, no discard.
Yeah. Bruno's.
But okay, it's on a body. It's decent.
Sure. Yeah, we know this card can be like okay in certain scenarios.
Yeah, I mean Chip is so like I love Chip even without John. I think Chip's fine. But
you also played
Chip's a 3/2.
You also played this card in the Amber Steel deck, right?
Yeah, I tried it. It was decent.
Bruno's Return, 2-cost uninkable. Return a character card from your discard to your hand. You may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, that type of effect, if it's like on a body, fine. Like if you remember the 4-cost 3/2 Hades.
Yeah, but even that's saw play for maybe
action.
one set a little bit, and then it never really saw play again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Luisa Madrigal, 4-cost inkable 4/3. Quest from Rush. The Fair Fox. Is this a Fair Fox, Moyen?
Yeah, but it's not fair. It's too bad. It's not even inkable.
You're spoiled, right? You're spoiled with Fox.
Yeah, we are too spoiled.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a Rush card. Rush cards are always something to just like look at. I just can't really see myself putting this in my deck though. It's very expensive.
Yeah, me neither.
Megara, Pulling the Strings, 2-cost inkable 2/1. Quest for 1. When you play this character, chosen character gets +2 strength this turn. You know what makes me laugh when I look at this? I'm only making the reference now when I look at this card. This is... I can't even remember the name of the card. This is a worse version of the card within the Hearthstone that was a 1-cost 2/1 that gave something +2 attack. Right? Like the Argent something, whatever the card's called. You know? From
Argent Commander?
Yes, that's the card. But it's nerfed, I think. I think that's now a 1-cost 1/1 that gives something +2 strength.
No, it wasn't. Wait, Argent Commander was a different card.
Oh.
What was it called?
Oh, I have no idea, but you know the card I'm talking about, right? You can see that it's a what was it?
Abusive Sergeant?
Yeah. He was saying like, what's the voice line when he comes into play? It's like, get into the fight, maggot, or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But do you understand the comparison I'm saying now? Right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a 1/1, give something +2.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, the context is so different, right? Because +2 could mean you deal 2 damage face.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like gaining. You could also use it to gain lore.
To gain lore, right?
In Lorcana, if you give something strength, it's usually just like it's just a board tool. It doesn't actually gain you the stat that you need to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's a card that's come back. Okay, I did want to talk to you about this card because I was interested about it. So it's Moana, Ruby card 4 cost inkable 3/4 quest for 1 with evasive. So we already talked about the other Moana that's not being rotated out and it was printed from between 5 and 8, which is a 4 cost inkable 4/3 with evasive. That when it challenges, it buffs another character up with +3. So that's obviously a much better card than this. But the comparison I wanted to make was, does one whole extra cost for this card justify that this card is always evasive versus the Steel Genie that's a 3 cost inkable 3/4 that's just evasive on your turn, right?
It really does. That Genie is well started, and this Moana is not.
Yeah. Medallion weights. Card draw, Moyen. What do we think?
Yeah. I have tried decks that were playing this card at some point in Lorcana.
Ruby Steel decks?
No.
No?
I don't play Ruby Steel.
Okay. I think this is the card. This is a card you would put into a Ruby Steel deck, though.
I mean, I've tried it in Red Blue, just as an item that can help you draw cards.
Okay. Flounder, the best card in Lorcana, is being reprinted. Lawrence coming back, a card that's very much seen a lot of play throughout multiple sets, and I think will still be a very good card, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like it will see so much less play without Rapunzel. It's like, if in so many board states, if you just quest, your opponent can like sacrifice something small and then finish this off.
That's very, very true.
Or they can just quest, and all your Lawrence can do is like trade one of their characters and maybe then have 0 strength.
I don't know. I mean, this card also saw some playing like purple steel decks, right? Like, what if instead of Rapunzel now, we play Lawrence and we play Panic?
Yeah, Panic and Belle.
Yep. I mean, it's another.
Sure.
I think
this card could still see some play.
Yeah.
Probably less than it.
Yeah. Maui's Place of Exile, 2 cost inkable, location, cost 1 to move, 5 willpower. Characters gain resist +1 while here.
They probably just hit the Place of Exile.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't threaten anything. It doesn't have lore.
I agree. Hercules, 6 cost inkable 6/5 with bodyguard and resist +1. Quest for 2. I always feel so weird with these bodyguards that have more strength than willpower. Why? Bodyguards like not designed, in my opinion, to be these types of
Yes, but he's strong.
Yeah, but he can have if he's a strong body, he should have more willpower than strength. I don't know. Equal willpower and strength, right? Make him a 6/6. 6/6 resist 1. Okay. What's next? Ursula Sea Witch, 3 cost, uninkable, 3/3. Whenever this character quests, shows the opposing character can't ready at their start of their next turn. This card never saw play, right?
Not the worst. Well, I mean, like, I've played so much Lorcana. I've played against these cards, but
But you've never played them yourself.
Yeah, and I usually haven't like lost to these cards.
Sure. Yeah.
But this card is not bad.
No, it's not the worst card.
This did some annoying stuff when I faced it.
Poor Unfortunate Souls, 2 cost, inkable, return chosen character, item, or location with cost 2 or less to their player's hand. I don't know. I've never played this card. I've never had this card played against me.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, even Befuddle is so niche, but this feels like even more niche.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, you kind of need to sing it to gain any advantage.
Moyen, one of your favorite cards, Develop Your Brain, is back.
Whoa. The Develop Your
You're
Brain.
very happy about that, I can imagine, right?
Yeah, I love Develop Your Brain.
It's a very good card. Very good card.
I mean, it's not even like, it's not that flashy, but it's just like, it can still kind of often make the cut in specific decks.
Mama Odie, Mystical Maven, 3 cost, uninkable, 1/3, quest for 1. Whenever you play a song, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell, face down exerted. Oh, I don't think I'd ever. You compare this to cards like Tipo, Sail, you know.
Yeah, but you know how much ink this can gain? Like
Yeah, one until
play
it gets
some
removed.
one
One
jumps
until it
and
gets
no
removed. That's exactly
No,
what it is.
you don't even have to exert this. You just play. You have to play a song.
Oh, right. Oh, that's
It's not
true.
when this sings. That's when when you play a song. When anything sings a song.
Okay, so
when-
what
when
are you telling me to like play this and then put loads of one cost songs into my deck so I can go ramp, 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 ramp?
I mean, if they draw a card, sure. Or like one jump. I mean,
I
this
don't-
card has potential.
I could be wrong, but I don't know if right
Untapped
now in the
potential.
game there's a one cost song that draws me a card. If that was a card, people would play that
Isn't
card.
there
No.
one like an Amethyst? The one that references discards or something?
Is that it calls me?
Maybe.
I have a feeling it's set 4.
Yes, it calls me, draw a card, then choose up to 3 cards from chosen opponent's discard and shuffle them into their deck.
Is it?
It's set 3 though.
It's set 3. Yeah, I ain't coming back. Yeah. Well, listen, if they didn't play Mama Odie and that
Maybe.
card back then, they wouldn't be doing it now if it was possible, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, this card can be good.
Sure. Jafar Royal Vizier. Vizier? Yeah, Vizier. 2 cost, inkable, 3/2, quest for 1. During your turn, this character gains evasive. This card definitely saw play previously.
Yes, because it's a Jafar.
It saw play just because it's
Mostly.
the Jafar, basically. Yes, that's correct.
Um,
What do you think about
yeah.
this card versus like the Helga Sinclair, right? The 2 cost uninkable 0/4 that gets evasive, but it's
Ah.
challenger +3.
Well, in the past, I felt like, okay, outside of the Jafar card being named Jafar, Helga Sinclair had like more potential because it's so sticky against like stuff like Storm Rage on, etc. But maybe now that's like less of a factor, and I would prefer a 3/2 that's evasive on opposing turn.
Motunui Island, 2 cost, inkable, 5 willpower, moves, pay 1 ink to move. Whenever a character is banished while here, you may put that card into your inkwell, face down, and exerted. Wasn't there a...
Yeah, this was built around so much in early Lorcana as well, but it never really popped off.
Yeah, was Savis messing around with this card at a stage? I feel like
No,
he
it
was,
was-
no?
I don't think it. I don't think it was Savage. Was it Zephyr?
It was probably Zephyr, yeah. Zephyr did lots of stuff
Yeah.
in the early Lorcana days. But even thinking
Yeah.
about this card, like I don't know, I feel like this is such an unnecessary thing to do. But technically, like before rotation, Blurple had the capability to do these things of like these brooms and these Chernobyls to move them there.
They still weren't doing that.
And they still weren't doing it.
To just like
Exactly.
play a 4-drop on 3 because you like wanna immediately ramp on 2.
And also, they even played the library, which cost 1 whole more ink. But drawing a card's probably better than ramping. I definitely think so, personally, right? Just it's way more resources.
Well, both they go with like +1 in terms of resources. It's just like ramping is like much better in the first 3-4-ish turns.
And the card draw is just
least
better in the late game, which
Card-
is when you can
the
actually
card draws
afford to
better
do
when
that.
You don't want to ramp. Yeah, exactly.
Rapunzel letting down her hair, 6 cost, uninkable 5/4, quest for 2. When you play this, each opponent loses a lore.
Just one?
Yeah,
I paid 6 for this.
I know I paid 6 for this. Yeah, there was like the 3 cost Aladdin that was a 2/2 that made my opponent lose a.
Yeah, and it was inkable.
Yeah, and was inkable exactly. Tuk 3 cost inkable 2/3, quest for 1 evasive. When you play this character, you may move him and one of your other characters to the same location for free. If you do, the other character gets +2 strength this turn. I used to look at this card and be like, oh, maybe this has potential to move to some locations or do something kind of crazy, but it just I never felt like I needed to move to locations that badly, right?
Yeah. And it's like, it's really annoying that this only gives strength if you also have a location.
Yes, I agree.
When it does, because when it does give strength, even if you don't need to move to that location, if you like happen to have one on the board, it would still be good as like a 2/3 evasive that gives +2 strength. That's fine.
You know what's interesting? I've never seen anybody do it because clearly this wasn't good, but like I could have seen this be interesting with isn't there like the 1 cost pirate ship location that gives everything rush?
Sure.
Right, so you move these characters to the location to give them rush for some reason, and then
Or maybe just like Hidden Cove 2-drop, tuck.
I feel like every time we talk about any location, and you're not wrong,
That's
it's like
the only location where I like somewhat care about it being there. That's the only cheap
you're
location.
really not wrong. And what's so funny about Hidden Cove is it's 1 cost, and all of these other like 2 cost locations have like 5 willpower, but Hidden Cove has 6. You know?
Yeah.
Like
That's quite a lot.
it's quite a lot. I agree. Next card is Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman. Again, a card that did see play in the meta, but it had the additional effect of on play your opponent discards a card. Right?
Yes, and it's also had the effect of if your opponent chooses to draw that extra card, then you might just discard it and draw more cards.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I don't think this card's necessarily going to see play again. But who knows? Maybe somebody wants to play it. We have Dolores Madrigal, easy listener, 4 cost inkable, 3/3 quest for 2. When you play this character, if an opponent has an exotic character in play, you may draw a card. This saw a tiny bit of play in some Amethyst decks. It was a very good card
but
within
it was
Sealed.
always bad. Like, it was always bad in Constructed, I think. Like, when people put it into the deck, I think that made the decks worse. But it's I can't quite put into words why that is.
You think it's still bad, really? I can't see this card being that bad.
No, now I don't know. I'm just like saying, in the history of Lorcana, I don't think this was good yet.
But you don't know why.
It's like, it's like I don't quite know why, because it's like 3/3 quest for 2, draw a card, but like there is a condition.
But the conditions
like
often met. It's often met quite easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even if it's met often, it's like, what if it's not met? It's like, you're so sad, Jeff.
I don't know. I feel like this card. I don't know. I feel like maybe there might be potential for this card, but I guess you're trying to, like, it's in the 4-drop slot where you're competing with cards like Genie, right? That's probably the biggest
Genie,
thing.
Iago.
Yeah. But in theory, I feel like if this wasn't in purple and it was in another color, whoa, you're playing this card, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm still like cautious with the condition. I don't think it's always met in like matchups where your opponent doesn't have to exert, especially if they know you're playing this. I still see some issues with the card, but yeah, the big issue is, of course, Genie always draws a card.
Genie always draws a
bigger
card.
body.
Yeah, exactly. Tick-Tock, one of your favorite cards of all time.
Tick-Tock
right?
on the clock.
On the clock. Yeah, what do you like about this card? It's just a big boy, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're saying it. By the way, we're saying this is good in, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think anyone was going to be playing this in their constructed deck. Would you play it in your constructed deck?
No. But in Sealed, I was always so happy to have this in any card pool when I played. Actually, what game was it? There was one game where I was playing a Tick-Tock in my deck. I think it was Hearthstone. And then I ran a stream because it wasn't like a meta card in the archetype I was playing. But I thought it was really... No, it was a Click Clock, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say Tick-Tock isn't in Hearthstone, is it?
No, I think it was called Click Clock. Maybe.
What is Click Clock? What did it do?
Like it was like a small clock, like a 1/1 mech that gave +1/+1 on play.
Okay.
Another mech or something.
Right.
And for the entire stream, I was listening to Tick-Tock on the clock, and it was the greatest time.
I know what you're like with certain songs, Moyen. So I could.
Yeah, I didn't care. The stream had to listen to that for like 10 hours straight.
You guys haven't been with Moyen when he likes a song, you're listening to it, not even for the entire day, probably the entire week if you're with him. Like, oh man. Yeah.
I mean, I can't help it. I get stuck in my head.
Let's go to page 1 and we'll finish off this part of the card review. Card Soldiers. Another 5 cost 5/5 that quest for 2. I have to check. I feel like they've put one of these in every ink and they've reprinted them, right? It nearly feels like that at this stage. I've seen Emerald Ruby.
Is this a reprint? I didn't even know
this is a reprint, yeah. You've never seen this card?
No, definitely not like on the table.
Well, yeah, so you've never considered it for a deck, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Mother Knows Best. I'm pretty happy to see this card return, honestly. I think it's
a cool card.
It's a good card that has proven to be used in certain metas. Even though it's uninkable, it can be pretty decent at certain times, delaying a potential big card, acting as like a semi/temporary removal, right, for a turn at least. Which is quite interesting.
It's a very skill testing card. I like that you can like choose your own cards as well, maybe just to ready them or something after they've done something.
Yep.
and replaying them. It's a cool card.
Mama Odie, 6 cost, uninkable, 3/6 quest for 2. Whenever the start quest, you may move up to 2 damage counters from chosen character to chosen opposing character. I think compared to
Hot
Panic,
garbage.
this is like so expensive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Bell.
Yeah, and Bell.
And Panic.
Yeah,
and everything.
And this is uninkable. Why is this uninkable?
Yes, I don't. No, because it's the same thing. It's like I always get this feeling if something technically is a repeatable effect, it's so much worse studded.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't matter that, okay, this on quest, so you could technically do this multiple times. No, you have to wait until you get to use it the first time.
Yeah. That's very true. Prince Eric. Saw a lot of play in set 1. It's just a 2-cost inkable, 1/3. Quest for 1, Challenger 2. Solid card in my opinion. I don't know, like, there's no necessary, like, I could never see people playing this when Smee existed in the meta for so long, right? But this is an example of, like, a fine card. For example, like, you recently played basically this card within purple in the recent tournament, right?
Yeah, where I got top 8.
Yeah.
With kind of a purple Prince Eric that you could shift on, but still.
Camillo Madrigal, 4-cost, inkable, 2/5, quest for 1. At the start of your turn, you may choose one. This character gets +1 lore, or this character gets Challenger +2 this turn. I don't know. This card seems just bad to me, honestly. Like, oh, maybe this could be a Yeti if I want to, but it's not even really a Yeti. Like, they've never printed just like a 4-cost 4/5. At least not that I know. I could be wrong. But I feel like they always print like 4-cost 4/4s, vanillas. But, you know, as soon as it's like a 4/5, we have to add another cost, you know? It's like...
Can't have a Yeti.
Can't have a Yeti. They know the power of the Yeti, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in general, this is like... Both of these modes are below average, and the flexibility for being able to choose what mode you need does not make up for it at all.
Yes, I agree. The next one's Prince Naveen, which is just a 3-cost inkable, 4/3, quest for 1, vanilla. I feel like a lot of these vanilla cards, like they to me, you know, they just feel like filler cards. And sets, I guess, have to have filler cards. Maybe they don't have to have, but it feels like most card games just always have filler cards, right?
I mean, it's better to have filler cards like these than like filler cards that are so conditional that they're bad, that also are like terrible in sealed. At least you can like use these.
At least you can just play this vanilla stack card in sealed, I guess. Yeah, that's a very fair point. I agree. Cinderella, 4-cost inkable, 2/5, Singer 5, quest for 2. You can exert this to remove up to 3 damage from chosen princess character. I still think chosen princess character is quite niche. This is like, oh my god. I know this is a set 1 card as well, but it's my god, compare this card to Rapunzel, and it is so different, right? Rapunzel on play, heal 3 from any character, draw cards. It's the same cost, it only has 1 less strength, like...
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that, like, again, technically this is a repeatable effect, but it also comes at the cost of you can't quest.
Yeah.
The turn where you want to heal something.
And the Singer 5 on this, to me, is just like...
It already almost costs 5, you know?
And also, exactly what you said, all 3 of these things work against each other. You either want to do Singer 5 with this to sing a 5-cost song, you either want to quest with this, or exert a first ability, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's like...
Yeah.
Instead of any of these abilities, if it just had like a little bit more strength, that would like add more than having 3 abilities that all wanted to exert.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. We have Agrabah, which is just a vanilla location. I'm sure it saw some play in some, like, I don't know, all-in like location decks.
Location decks
right?
with John Silver.
Yeah. We've got Raya, Headstrong, 3-cost, inkable, 2/3, quest for 1. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. If you do, she can't quest for the rest of the turn. Mini Scar. I've actually always liked the idea of this card just because it's basically, it acts like a Scar. But, I mean, this with, I don't know, what's the card? I don't know if it's coming back. The one that could like let you, that's the one that lets you challenge ready characters, right?
It gives chosen character resist +2, and until starting next turn. And if a hero character is chosen, they may also challenge ready characters. So it gives you like ready, and it can challenge ready characters and resist +2, and if it banishes something, so like this together can like clear some stuff. or like clear a lot of boards, especially if you give this like some strength.
Sure.
But both of these cards on their own don't do that much.
We've got Jafar, Keeper of Secrets, 4-cost, inkable.
Also, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Just the One Last Hope is also from set 4.
Sure. So it's not coming back confirmed, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jafar, Keeper of Secrets, 4-cost, inkable, 0/5, quest for 2. This character gets +1 strength for each card in your hand. It's funny to me because I'll ask you a question. Was this card ever played in set 1 where it was like this resource game?
Yep.
And it was probably a good card in set 1, right?
I mean, it wasn't like played. I don't think it was played in all Ruby Amethyst deck, but it's like some were playing them. Maybe. I don't quite recall, but I definitely remember this seeing play.
This card is like reminds me so much of is it? I want to say Twilight Drake. I don't know if Twilight Drake's the right name for the card, but it's the card in Hearthstone that was the 4-cost. Like it had 4 attack and then it had like 1 health, but it would get +1 health for every other card in your hand. Like in the handlock warlock decks that really cared about you having like a full hand, right? With like your mountain giants and stuff. I don't know. I feel like this is the type of card that in that deck. It's also purple, so it just reminds me so much of warlock, right?
Yeah. Like yeah. It's so funny that you keep referencing Hearthstone.
I'm, you know what it is. I'll be completely honest. I've been on this thing lately in this past week where I'm just watching like old school, like 2013 to 2015 Hearthstone content. And it's just so enjoyable. It like takes me back, you know. It's nostalgia. But what's hilarious is like this is like 10-year-old content that I'm viewing, but I'm still like I don't know. I guess I'm not learning stuff, but like I'm making these comparisons that are like still interesting to me. Like you know?
No, I mean, I'm always of the opinion like the more you know about more card games, and like you just as a card game player or like a card game person, you grow.
Yeah. I hope people aren't starting to, you know, think I'm doing what Brendan did with Flesh and Blood, right? It's like, oh, Kawa's talking about Hearthstone more than he is about Lorcana right now. Yeah.
If we were talking about a different game, might be Riftbound.
Yeah. If Brendan was here, he'd be talking about Riftbound right now.
He was here. He was talking Riftbound, and then we were like, oh, we need to start recording. I was like, okay, I need to dip.
I need to leave. Yeah. I was playing Riftbound with him before the pod, and he was like, myself and Moyen, like, yeah, Brendan, you want to stay and talk about some of these cards? Sorry, guys, I gotta go do something, you know. So.
Yeah. But just regarding Riftbound, last week I played my first tournament. I went like 7-0 in Swiss, which was nice, but it was like very late in the night, so I had to drop before top cut because there wasn't like any pricing, but like the tournament itself was still really, really fun.
Yeah, a lot of the Lorcana community, he saw your post on Twitter, were like, yeah, it's the most Moyen thing to do, go undefeated in the Swiss rounds and drop to go to bed.
No, but that's not true. It's like usually I'm the first player that like doesn't drop no matter what if there's like nothing on the line. That just loves to play, but like, come on, it was like 4 a.m.
It's like 4 a.m.
And I get like a digital notebook or something for a notepad. So okay, maybe I go sleep.
But you put on a good show. I watched some of the games. It was very enjoyable. Yeah. Okay, this Scar is in Chinese. I'm not going to ask you to translate it, but I do know what the card does because it's been translated on like Mushi Report and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure. Well, I can see it's a 5-cost uninkable 5/4 quest for 2. The first ability is it gives your other allies +1 strength, and the other ability is on quest. You may, I believe it's like you may banish another ally. No, it's not.
Wait, do you have to banish them?
Yeah. It's like first of all, it's like choose another friendly ally character. And then you draw cards equal to its strength. Then you banish and discard the character.
Oh.
No, not banish and discard. You banish the character, and then you have to discard 2 cards from your hand.
But that kind of it gives me so many dinner bell vibes. I don't want to banish my stuff.
Yeah.
Just to draw some cards. And then also have to discard too.
It's dinner bell on a body, right?
which is much better than dinner bell.
Sure.
Like, the body is kind of fine. The strength buff's nice, and like. I guess maybe occasionally drawing a lot of cards if you have like a high strength character in play.
We have I'm Stuck is the next card that's getting reprinted. One cost Amethyst action. Chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of their next turn. Sure. Didn't see play before. Won't see play again. This is the card I was talking about, Moyen. It's the Huey. It's the 2-cost inkable 2/2 quest for 1 with support. Whenever this character quests, if you have characters named Dewey and Louie in play, you may draw 3 cards.
Okay.
Okay.
3 is a lot.
3 is a lot, and like the interesting thing, like I said, is you go Huey on 2, you go whatever Dewey or Louie on 3, and then on 4. So you have like you have the curve to do it technically. But
like the problem is like if you ever don't draw a Dewey or don't draw a Louie,
you're screwed.
in trouble.
Yeah.
And also like the Deweys and Louis itself, they're not like great cards.
The 3-cost ones I would argue are okay cards, probably still not playable. The 4 costs, in my opinion, are just so bad, so bad.
We need like a card where
the card that has all of the names on them, like the Flotsam and Jetsams.
It's like I don't know. Maybe it's from some scene where like
they're all together.
One of them pretends to be like another one, like kind of as like because they're triplets, right?
Sure.
So, and then it's like okay, this card's name is considered to be Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then you can like use that to always have both.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's very, very interesting. The next card is Casa Madrigal, 1-cost inkable. Amethyst location with 6 willpower. Cost 1 to move it there. At start of your turn, if you have a character here, gain a lore. Give me Hidden Cove every time.
Sure, but like this gains lore.
Sure. Are you really putting this in your Amethyst deck?
Probably not. No. But like this is another one of those cards where I'm like, I don't know. I don't quite grasp why it's so bad.
Well, as in it reads better than it actually is.
Yes, like it reads better than it plays.
But there's better stuff you could be putting in your deck, right? That's why you're not playing it, surely.
Yeah.
There's gotta be better cards. If I'm maybe I play Casa Madrigal in my deck.
Yeah. Even in sealed, I was like, I thought this would be better than it was when I tried.
Okay, so if it's not even good in sealed, why am I putting?
It was okay in sealed.
Why am I playing it in my constructed deck? Tiana, just a vanilla 1-cost inkable 1/3. Going back to the 1-cost 1/3 is okay. Jasmine. When you play this character, remove up to 1 damage from chosen character of yours. I feel like this Jasmine, like this is a reprint. It looks like I swear I feel like this Jasmine was from like set 5 to 8, but clearly it's a old card. Maybe honestly this card could be from set 1. Maybe this is actually from set 1. It's just I've never seen this card be played. Because I know there's another 1-cost Jasmine that gives something resist when it's played, right? Like that was from the latest set, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah.
Bell, Inventive Engineer, 3-cost inkable 2/3 quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, you pay 1 less for the next item you play this turn. It's never really saw play, did it? I don't believe so.
No. I mean, it's like you would need for this card to even be considered. I need to have like a 5-cost item. That is so much better if I get to play it turn 4. Because then you can like actually like curve that out and get it into play turn.
But couldn't you just ramp on 2 instead?
Yes. ramp is broken. Okay.
Yeah, it is broken.
I'm trying.
We've got Pluto, Rescue Dog, 5-cost inkable 4/5 quest for 2. When you play this character, you may remove up to 3 damage from chosen character of yours. Now this card, honestly, I think this card's okay. I genuinely think this card is fine.
It's a decent body.
Yeah.
Some playability. That's not irrelevant. Sure.
Yeah. I don't just because I say it's an okay card doesn't mean I think it's going to see lots of meta play, but I would play this in sealed very, very happily. I think this is a very, very good card. Phil. This is the 4-cost inkable 2/3 quest for 2. Your hero characters gain challenger +1, and whenever you play hero character, gain 1 lore. People looked at this and were like, "Oh my god, it's like a goat, but you have like."
Yeah, now I just play this, and then I don't even need to exert. I just play hero, GG.
Yeah.
But it turned out that was like always a bit slow.
Yeah.
Just like play this 4-cost that you never exert, just to like gain a little bit of like.
I don't know, for the casual decks and for like even the idea of trying to support more, I guess themed decks of like I want to run all hero cards. Yeah, maybe it's okay.
Sure.
1 jump ahead, like we talked about.
1 jump ahead of the.
1 jump ahead of the bread line. I think is it bread line? I have no idea.
I don't know.
But Yeah, I mean, why do you think they decided they had to reprint this in a meta where we still have Sail and Tipo?
Wait. I guess what sets were Sail and Tipo?
5 and 6.
Okay, so I guess they really like. I mean, okay. You could maybe assume that they like having 2-cost ramp in the game.
Okay, I would very much assume, yeah.
They want to keep it that way, but like maybe they didn't quite feel that Tipo and Sail were on like the right power level. And like, I think there's times where like singing one jump is relevant, but like in general, I think one jump was always the worst out of the 3 options as like 2-cost ramp. So maybe like at some point they want to have a Lorcana world where one jump exists as the only, like if you want to play ramp on 2, you have to play one jump. Because like with this being reprinted, at some point set 5 to 8 rotate out, but then we still have one jump.
Sure, right. So from set like 9 to 13 and all the way up to like 9 to whatever it would be, like 16 or 17, right? For like for the longest time, like this is, yeah. So and then suddenly, who knows? Maybe then we'll only have a meta where this is potentially the only way to ramp onto.
I would be scared of that because then suddenly we live in this world.
It's like Hearthstone again, right? It's wild growth. Do you have the wild growth on 2 or not, right?
Kind of,
you know. So I would also be very, very scared of that. And then, I mean, maybe if that's the world you live in, it's like, okay, if I hit it, it's really, really good. But then if I miss it, maybe the Sapphire decks evolve into something else that you're trying to do, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess then, like, at least then Sapphire decks have to play like maybe 3-cost stuff in their deck, because right now they can just say like, oh no, I
don't play anything on I don't play any 3-cost cards. Yeah, we got Nani, 5 cost inkable 3/6 quest for 2 bodyguard. Yeah, whatever.
Sure,
it's fine card. Aurora, 2 cost inkable 2/2 quest for 2. This is just a reprint, and it's the shift target for the 5 cost Aurora. The mob song. I have no idea why this was reprinted. This.
Wait, were all of the Sync Together cards reprinted, or did they like?
Oh, that's a very good question. I'll have to look at set 4, but so far it really seems like all of the initial Sync Together cards that we got, they all seem to be back. Honestly, a lot of them at least.
The Draw 5, the Under the Sea, the Mob Song. So maybe they're just like. I mean, I like Sync Together as like a mechanic.
Dig a little deeper. I don't know if we've seen that yet, right? Yeah.
True.
You like the mob song?
No, I like the mechanic that is Sing together.
Yeah, I think Sing Together.
Mob song, not great.
You know what the difference is with these cards though? Like, do you really think that at these 10 cost? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say, do you really think if like the 10 cost Sing Together cards, if they were inkable, would they be? I mean, they'd be a lot better. They would be a lot better.
It's also like sometimes I feel like, okay, deal 3 to up to 3 characters. It's not that impactful.
No, it's not. I would expect a card like this to be like, I don't know, deal 3 to 5, up to 5 chosen characters or something, right?
Sure. But like at that point, suddenly maybe you can just like, you don't have to interact with board too much. You just like play all your characters, leave them ready until you sing like the big board swing song. And then like win the game.
But this isn't even that good. This still isn't.
No, this doesn't do that. I'm like, maybe that's like the worry if you make this too powerful.
I don't know, like, but even just from a card design standpoint, it's like this is deal 3 damage, up to 3 chosen characters. So you can't even deal 3 on the one character 3 times, right? With this text, you have to do 3 to something, 3 to something, 3. So I can't even like hard remove, like if they've got a massive card. Oh yeah, sorry, you just deal 3 damage to it.
I mean, okay, just one other card game reference. You know, Falling Star.
Don't talk to me about Falling Star, man.
Wounds, deal 3 to 2. I mean, that card is also very powerful.
But even Icathian Rain, right? It's deal 12. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I know that's an expensive card, but anyways, okay. So, Beast Mirrors being reprinted. I know this saw a little bit of play within set 1, but I've been looking at this card like kind of recently. Well, I say recently, when I just saw it get revealed in the past few days. And the more I'm looking at this card, I'm like, this to me is just as bad as Magic Mirror is. Like, someone was trying to say, like, oh, this card is like, you know, it's card draw, right? At least we have card draw. And I'm like, I just I can't get behind. I guess now it's been so long, right, since this was even remotely playable when there was only like the one card pool. But I personally really can't get behind this card. Like, do you think this has any potential? Because for me, I'm just like,
No.
yeah.
Like the like paying 3 to draw one, it's not that bad repeatedly. The problem is drawing one card is so much better if you have like some options in hand, but like it helps you refill your hand so that you can like keep playing the most efficient cards for the right situations. If you're like on 0 cards and you have like, or maybe you're on 0 cards, you draw a card. No matter what this card is, you have to play it, then pay 3 to draw a new card, and then hope that this card's also decent and maybe playable in this situation that you're now in. Yeah, so I don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. The next one is 4 dozen eggs. 4 cost inkable. Sapphire Song. Your character's gain resist +2 until the start of your next turn. I don't think this card ever saw play. Mainly because, if I'm being honest, I believe this came out in set 2. Yeah, it does have set 2 on it. Cogsworth existed in set 2. So if you wanted this effect, just play Cogsworth and it's permanent.
Yeah, but
basically.
even if Cogsworth doesn't exist, it's like, do you really want to pay an entire card 4-cost Song to like protect your characters somewhat for a turn?
Probably
I don't.
Not, no.
I would rather just play another character and let them deal with the ones that I exert, and then I have another ready character.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Make the potion. A 2-cost uninkable emerald action. Banish chosen item or deal 2 damage to chosen damaged character.
Nope.
No. Yeah, just nope.
Next.
Yeah. A Steel Aerial, 3-cost inkable, 2/4. Whenever you play a song, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. This card never really saw any play, right?
We need like on discard or on draw payoffs to like kind of have this as an engine piece, but I doubt that we'll ever see that word.
John Silver is back, the card we talked about for locations. Honestly, I'm quite happy to see this card back, because in the locations deck, this is a pretty big menace to deal with, in my opinion. They've got a couple of locations down. A lot of the time, you really want to go through the location, or at least like take this out in a really awkward way. So I don't know. For location decks continue to exist within the game, I think this is actually a very important centerpiece. And finally, so far at least, until we add on the extra cards for this video, we have Max Goof, 6-cost inkable 4/5, Chart Topper, Quest for 2, Shift 4. Whenever this character quests, you may play a song card with cost 4 or less from your discard for free, then put it on the bottom of your deck instead of into your discard. What do you think?
I think I like it. It's like the stat line's fine. It can shift, so like you don't always have to wait a turn to get the value out of this card. And on quest, it's like, okay, so you sing from your discard this. Okay, but it has to be 4 cost or less. But you also gain 2 lore. I think it's powerful.
If you want to get the maximum value out of this, though, you will need to do the basically discard a card, draw a card in order to get the 4-cost song. This is if you shift this on turn 4 and you want to get a 4-cost song, you have to make sure that you discard a 4-cost song into the discard, because there's no other way that you could have. Well, actually, that's not true. There's singer cards, right? That's true. That's true. Yeah, I guess I didn't actually think about that, where you could have like the 2-cost power line, sing a 4-cost song, and then shed up. Yeah.
Or even without singer, what if you just like, it can do a 4-cost or less. I don't know what songs we want to be singing. Again, stuff like Friends or Fargo would be like prime examples of something that you'd want to be singing, but that we won't have. But you could also like play a 3-drop, then shift Goof on 4, and then your 3-drop sings, your 4-drop quest, and then you like get to use that song twice.
Yeah. Honestly, like the biggest issue I'm having with this, and even the smaller Max Goof card, the one that you can 3-cost inkable 2/2 on play. If you pay 1, you can play a song that costs 3 or less from your discard for free. Like, I was actually comparing those 2 cards, because it's the same cost that you're paying for this if you shift it, and the only difference is it's a song that costs 1 less, and you actually get it immediately, and you don't have to wait the turn. But if you're shifting this, you don't have to wait the turn. You can also get it immediately, technically.
Yeah, I guess part of the issue is also like, let's say we don't have too many songs. We need to like set it up in a way where maybe we sing it first or discard it. But then also, as soon as we quest with this Goof to get that song, maybe like it's not that threatening anymore because now that song's on the bottom of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, okay, it's still threatening that if you have a song in hand, you could like play that song, quest, get it again. But
yeah, honestly, and it's also just this idea that I'm having with like the power line decks and stuff like that. Initially, at least, it's like it makes sense that those decks are not going to be that powerful initially because, like I've mentioned, the card pool will be at the smallest it's been in a very long time. So the song cards are very limited. That's not to say that you actually can't put enough quote unquote playable songs into the deck, but as sets go on and the card pool keeps expanding, well, like set 10, set 11, there should be better song cards that come along that will hopefully make this type of power line song focused deck a little bit better. Because I think there's some cards that could be okay, like I don't know, but it's all contextual, right? It's like, oh, I get if I'm doing if I'm using the power line, I can get like a pirate's life, or I can be king to get rid of my opponent's stuff, or I can you're welcome to just temporarily remove something and then they draw cards, or I can you're welcome my own card type of thing, right? But a lot of the song cards, and this is actually even a problem when we had like sets 1 to 8 within Ruby Emerald specifically. They're like fine, but they never felt like super strong without an additional card that's like really supporting it, right? I don't know. That's just my initial impression, but the cool thing for decks like this is I do think over time they have the potential to get better and experiment a little bit further. I'm not trying to like, put anybody down to like try out a cool power line, a goofy movie deck, but I think my logic also makes sense, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like all of these cards have potential to do something like decently powerful, but like maybe the crux of these cards is what about those situations where like you don't have a song in your discard, or maybe the power line doesn't find a song of the top 4 cards of your deck. They can still be like maybe lack consistency because on their own they don't like do that much.
Sure. Okay, so that's it for this section of the card reviews. We're gonna switch over to talking about the rest of the cards that have been revealed within the game dev talk. We had a quick costume change, at least I did.
I don't think I did.
I don't think you did. We're starting off with Judy Hopps, 3-cost inkable 2/3, quest for 2. Within Sapphire, when you play this character, you may banish chosen item. If you do, its player draws a card. So this is like the second half of our big kind of card review. With the game dev talk just happened, we had a bunch of cards that were confirmed to not be reprints, and amongst those were Fishbone Quill and Popsicle. So
no.
Yeah, I know. You must be disappointed, right?
And did they announce they were unbanning Fortisphere?
No, they did not. Yeah, so like what do you think about Judy? I guess what do you think about Judy in general? Because it's not that you played Judy when Popsicle was around, but it wasn't bad when Popsicle was around, right? Yeah.
I think some people played it. I think it was giga mediocre, and it was like the conditions for the card to be good, if it ever is good, were more than met. There was a Popsicle in the meta where it was like, okay, sometimes I can at least use this to cycle a card. And there was a Lucky Dime in the meta, which was like a 7-cost uninkable item that you like really wanted to get rid of. And even that meta, I think the card was kind of bad, or at least it wasn't great. So going forward, I assume it's probably going to be worse.
I agree. The only thing I'll note about this card is that, similar to before we had a card like Hideaway, the reason why people maybe would have chosen to play this is because if you're playing something like Sapphire plus another ink that's not specifically Emerald and Steel, because they have basically Benja and Fred that can just on-play banish an item, right? This is basically item removal just within Sapphire if you didn't have item removal in your other ink. And that's notable because, once we go to the next rotation, once Hideaway leaves, once like Cusco leaves, if for some reason you're playing a Sapphire deck and you really need to have the item removal and the other ink doesn't have item removal, maybe. Ultimately, I do agree with you, though. It's still got to be like a very niche scenario, and even if that's the case, it probably won't see play, but it's the only kind of little spot I could see where it might resurge, right? You know what I mean? Sudden Chill was announced to be coming back. This was spoiled within like the Ruby Emerald article, and then they just confirmed it within like the dev main stage. I don't know, like, how do you feel about this card without Prince John existing, right? It's just a 1-for-1, basically.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is like, it can be okay if you have more than one card and your opponent has one and you like really screw up their turn. But
Mm-hmm.
in general, most of the time, you don't really want to spend any resources to go 1-for-1.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know, like, even with the existence of this new max, where you can, the 3-cost max that if you pay 4, you can play it, and it acts like you're basically discarding them. I don't know if we talked about this. We might have talked about this privately, or maybe we talked about this in the first half of this. But it's like, if you do that, it's like, it's basically like a worse chip, in a sense,
Yeah.
right? Because you're paying 4 for a 2/2 that makes your opponent discard a card. But, like,
Yeah.
you've already
But
discarded a card previously, and, so.
I guess with the Max Goof chart topper from the end of
Mm-hmm.
the last part, that could work. So now, like, you make them discard one, the chart topper quest, and they have to discard again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems interesting for sure. The next one, Pluto. You must be happy about this, right? Your Pluto Pleakley
No.
line. No, you're not happy?
I don't like this card.
You think this card's good, like too good?
No, that's also not the case. I think this card has giga variance on when it's good and when it's bad. It's
Okay.
like turn 1, this together with some specific cards, this can feel like one of the best cards in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then like turn 2 already, it feels kind of mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And then like any later turn,
It's pretty bad.
it feels like one of the worst cards in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. So I know I've tried some stuff with it in the past because like how good it can be turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like this card.
Okay, sure. Signed contract, 2-cost inkable emerald item. Whenever an opponent plays a song, you may draw a card.
Sure. I mean that's
I
I guess an anti-song card. We might have less songs.
It's not even
now,
really
but-
anti-songs, but that's a good point you bring up, that we probably have less songs. So it's like, again, this is another item that, if this item didn't see play in a meta where we had a lot of songs, then I don't know. They didn't even really. I mean, maybe some of the blue-green item decks played this, like 1 or 2 of this potentially, but I didn't see very many of them play it.
Yeah, me neither.
We got Hercules, which is just a 3-cost inkable 3/3 bodyguard quest for 1. Maybe a shift target. It's just basically kind of a vanilla card. We've got Aurora, Tranquil Princess, 2-cost inkable 1/3. The quest for 1 with ward. So if you really have to guarantee that you get your shift Aurora off, I guess you could play this card, but this card was never played previously. Jafar, Lamp Thief, 3-cost inkable 2/2 quest for 2. When you play this character, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one on the top of your deck and the other on the bottom. This as well was only really ever played with because it was a Jafar, right? Pretty much within the Jafar deck. Man, we're steaming through these right now. Okay,
Yeah,
Moyen.
like Jafar doesn't matter too much without Whole New World.
What's next? You got to read out this card. It's your favorite card
Okay, the
ever.
next card is so good. Finally, Ruby has card draw. It's
Finally.
the 4-cost uninkable item, Dinner Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And its effect is, you know what happens. Exert, pay 2 ink, draw cards equal to the damage on chosen character of yours, then banish them. We had to like defend our opinion quite a bit on why this card's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think this card's probably still bad.
Yes. Have you ever played this card in a deck, Moyen? Be honest.
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
it would go against everything I stand for.
yeah, we showed
except maybe in Seed.
We showed it off, I'm pretty sure, last week with the dinner
Yeah.
bell. And that was funny that we showed it off last week and it just got confirmed to be a reprint. Because I was so confident that this card would never come back. But
Yeah.
I guess it has come back, right? So there you have it. Then we've got Pluto Determines the Defender. 7-cost inkable 3/8. Shift 5, quest for 2, bodyguard. And then also has at the start of your turn, remove up to 3 damage from this character. I think I played this card back in like the day when we had like the smaller Pluto, a very, very early of like early version of Ruby Amber. But ultimately, I actually don't think this card is that good. Although, like saying that, like this meta that we're moving into, it might be very, very important to have really high willpower characters that might be quite difficult for the opponent to deal with. But if I want to go for like a really powerful bodyguard card, I'll probably. I mean, it does mean you have to play Amber Sapphire, right? But I think that the Shift Thunderbolt line, like you pay 3 for a 3/7 that quests for 2 with bodyguard. I'm like, oh, I'd probably play that instead, honestly.
Or even just like the Pluto bodyguard, the 4-drop in Steel. It's
Mm-hmm.
still a pretty good bodyguard.
Oh, it's the 5/5. Yeah, but that's not. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say that's not coming back. That's still in the meta, right? Yes, you're correct. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I'd probably just play that. We have Stitch Alien Dancer, which is actually getting a reprint. Um, and this is one of the cards that we did mention for like the potential alien synergy with the Lilo. But I don't think I'm just playing a vanilla 2/3 within my deck just to have some synergy with the
Yeah,
3-cost
probably
Lilo.
not.
We've got the Aerial Enchanted, we've got the Pegasus Epic, we've got the Elsa Epic. I don't know why these cards, the Elsa Epic's been shown off so many times already. But we've got Shenzi, 4-cost Inkable 0/6. While this character is at a location, she gets +3 Strength. And then while this character is at a location, whenever she challenges another character, you may draw a card. Yeah, I don't know. Moyen,
Yeah,
thoughts?
yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. We've talked so much about why cards like these are bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not it's just not nearly good enough. I can't like you can't play a 4-cost Inkable 0/6. I wouldn't even play a 4-cost
Yes.
Inkable like 3/6 that basically does nothing until it moves to the location, right? Like,
Yeah, and then it doesn't do anything if your opponent doesn't have characters exerted, and then
mhm.
you move it to location. And if you exert it without like challenging, then your opponent can still just like maybe take out the location
Take out the
first, and
location
then you have
first.
a zero
Exactly,
six.
exactly. Yeah. One last hope though, a card that we did previously talk about, is returning the 3-cost uninkable. Chosen character gains resist +2 until the start of your next turn. If a hero card is chosen, they can also challenge ready characters this turn. Yeah, I mean, I don't think maybe this was used against me a little bit in some like weird Amber Steel decks that just wanted to buff up a hero, but this is always a pretty interesting tool. It comes at a high cost to put it into your deck because it is uninkable, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um, it's an interesting card to include in your deck, but I think your deck has to be built in a very specific way for you to really want to play this card. Would you agree?
Yeah, the uninkability really hurts the card because other than that, it's like a nice tool to be able to access like a ready character to make something challenge that they really don't want to challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it being uninkable still always makes this a little bit difficult to include for such a niche scenario.
Yeah, I did always like that these challenge ready characters this turn got around ward a lot of the time, but now that we're going into this post rotation meta, like that isn't really going to be a problem because there should be so much ward cards for one that are a big problem, and also removal cards. Uh, we've got Heart of Tafidi, 3-cost inkable, sapphire item. You can exert it, pay 2 ink to put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. I mean, I'm going to say the same thing about this card that I kind of said about Judy, where I look at this card and I say, maybe in the next rotation because this is here. I don't know. Because think about it like that. We actually mentioned it, right? It's like there's just one jump which we know is going to be ramp. So if this is the only other
Mm-hmm.
way to ramp, maybe you play, but it still seems so slow. You can't really just
Yeah.
take a turn off to play this, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where there was a prominent player that really liked this card,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't quite get around to it because Savage was actually playing this in like set, what was it, set 3,
Set
red
3.
blue.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and even then I was like kind of on the fence where I still felt like it was too slow.
Mm-hmm.
But like in theory that is a nice value to like basically gain 1 card advantage for 2 each turn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We got Daisy Duck, 4-cost inkable, 2/3, quest for 2. Whenever this character quest, each opponent chooses and discards a card. I feel like this card saw maybe a tiny bit of play here and there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
like in like early Emerald Steel builds.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it is quite threatening as like a 2 quester that also makes you discard 1 unless you deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
which is not like easy to deal with a ready character
Mhm.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But without John, I'm still a little bit.
Yeah, all of these
Uh,
discard stuff
scared.
doesn't really get as like. I feel like
Yeah,
the
but
cards
like
like Shaper's still okay, like you mentioned,
yeah.
because like they instantly do it and you establish the body. But these
Mhm.
cards that are maybe they get value over time when they don't really get value over time, right? They're just delayed discard stuff.
Yeah, I think like Chip, Daisy Duck
Mm-hmm.
I can see working without John. I think if You Have Forgotten Me was to be reprinted, I could see that work without John.
Mm.
Just like because it's so easy for your opponent to like have exactly 2 cards around this
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
and it does really to lock them out.
Mhm.
But yeah, like Sunchill and this Daisy maybe not so much.
Yep. Dig a Little Deeper is coming back. Or one of DKP's favorite cards, right?
Mhm. it was not good in that deck.
Yeah, he always played the one of in the deck, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you think it has a place now? It's actually funny you mentioned it. Are they bringing back all of the Sing Together cards? It really does seem like it now, right? It really
We,
does
we,
seem
we are
like it.
seeing a lot of them.
Yeah.
Does it make sense now? I think it could. Like
Mhm.
it's not the worst card if you have efficient singing capabilities for it and have like important cards to dig for.
Yep.
Could be fine.
Like I mentioned, I think these Sing Together cards might potentially have the most uh the most use cases now when it's maybe easier for you to just play a character, it not be dealt with immediately, and then play another character, and with the less removal options, maybe a card like this is a little bit more feasible, but we'll see. Um, we have Beast Gracious Prince, 5 cost inkable, 5/4 quest for 1. Your princess characters get +1/+1. What do you think about this? I think the body for this is like, it's fine. It's a 5/4. The idea of giving the annoying thing about this card is that it's all of your princesses. If this was to all of your characters, I'd be looking at this card and be like, okay, I'm playing this card, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a nice thematic card.
Hmm. But do you think in that deck it's a card? It's probably a card you play in a princess deck.
If like all the characters in the rest of your deck are princesses, so if like if
Okay,
it
so if
buffs
your
all of
entire
the
deck,
characters,
if
basically.
your entire
Yeah.
deck is princesses, you play it.
Um, do I play it then? Probably.
Yeah, you probably do.
It is a fine card then.
Okay. Now this is a card which one of the game devs, Lucas, said that this is one of his favorite cards of the set, if not his favorite. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you said you don't like Pluto. I mean, this is a lot less. Listen, you can do a lot less things with this compared to what you can do with Pluto, but there are some things you can do. I mean, the first thing that came to mind when I saw this card for me was Aerial, but obviously you can't do Aerial anymore. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Aerial's getting rotated out, which was confirmed on the main stage. And the one thing I was looking at with this card though is you can do Shift Aurora on turn 2 if you want to with this, right? The
Sure.
blue Aurora, which I don't know, like if there's there's no whole new world or anything anymore, but if whole new, like, obviously you couldn't play all those 3 colors together type of stuff, but it's like the old Queen opener, right, where you could like shift Queen on turn 2 and then sing a pretty powerful song. I don't know if that's the use
Mm-hmm.
case for this particular combo, but are there many other princesses or queens that come to your mind immediately where you can see, oh yeah, maybe I'd play this card?
Not really.
Mm.
But it's definitely like this type of effect where you get to put something into play a turn sooner than you usually would.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's quite powerful, especially for like a 1 cost, because suddenly like you could play a 3 cost on 2, you could play 4 cost on 3. Um, that on an inkable body makes this really interesting to me. Whereas like if this was like same with like similar idea with Pluto, right? If this is uninkable, I'm like so sad to draw this any turn later.
Mm-hmm.
But it being inkable, I think, is really really important for this card.
I agree, yeah. I think, and if there are some just like better princesses and queens that are coming in the future as well, then this card could potentially see
Mm-hmm.
even more play. The next one we have is Wildcat, 3 cost inkable 2/3, the quest for 1 with evasive, and you can exert it to banish chosen item. Uh, I don't know. I'd rather just get rid of the item immediately than
Mm-hmm.
play this to have, as you say, Moyen, the value of recursion, right? I can do this multiple times. It's like, whoo.
Yeah, but it's evasive, so that's nice. Like, this actually can sometimes do it multiple times if you play against a deck where you really need to banish multiple items.
Sure.
I've actually lost to this card
Really?
playing red blue against like Emerald Steel, and then they hit this,
That's an interesting
and
tech. Wow.
I didn't draw my Flower Charm until my Popsicle was gone,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Then you
I
lose.
was just kind of sad.
Okay, there are a few other cards we're going to be talking about, so let me pull those up quickly. I'm just going to cut here. I'll just share them all in the Discord for you, maybe. That's probably the best way.
Sure.
And then I can go back to the full screen. Some of them we already talked about, but we'll start from Bell, and then we'll go to Nala.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull this up. Okay, now if I go like this, that's the wrong way. This, yeah. This. Okay, so we have Bell, Untrained Mystic, 3-cost inkable, 3/3 quest for 1. When you play this character, move up to 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character. I mean, these are the type of effects that we kind of talked about, right? Where I was mentioning like Lawrence, and then you could play like Panic to be able to really efficiently move some damage. This Bell is maybe a little trickier, only because it comes out a little bit earlier, and like I think the difference between 1 and 2 is quite big. But like, what are your immediate thoughts when you look at this card? Like, do you think it could maybe see some play? It has to fit in a very specific deck, right? Do you want me to start again?
Yeah, let's restart. Sorry.
No worries. No, that's all good. It's all good. All right, so we've got Bell, Untrained Mystic, 3-cost inkable, 3/3 quest for 1. When you play this character, move up to 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character. Moyen, what are your initial thoughts on cards like this? We already talked about characters that are moving damage counters, right? But moving one damage counter on turn 3, like, how feasible do you think this is?
It's like, it's weird because if you compare this to Panic and Bell, you could think, oh, it's like a similar type of effect, but cheaper, and the stats are still pretty good. And usually in card games, you're like, okay, if it does like a similar thing but cheaper, like, that's usually better. But I think this coming down early also kind of works against it, because that early it's much harder to already have like a damage character in play and something you want to move the damage to, and then like you need the 1 damage to change a breakpoint. So personally, I think I like both Panic and Bell better than this.
I agree. Yeah, and like the reason why I like Panic better is I feel like I could actually potentially like take out an entire opposing character, or like really change a breakpoint. Whereas like pinging something for 1, well, not only pinging something for 1 is fine, right? But like you said, it's actually guaranteeing that I have damage on one of my other characters already. So yeah. The next one we have is Ursula Vanessa, 2-cost inkable, 1/4 quest for 1 with Singer 4. I saw some people in the chat when they revealed this in the main stage saying like, oh, did we really need this as a reprint because we already have the Troubadour? So what do you say to that? Do you agree? It's like, is it necessary to reprint this card if we already have it? Or, is there a reason why I want to play 8 2-cost Singer 4s in my deck? This goes in the you know what deck this goes in, by the way. Sorry, continue. You know what deck this goes in.
Yeah, I know. No, the biggest, I mean, yes, you don't necessarily always need more than 4 in Amber Steel, but like this keeps Amber as like a singing color. This keeps any Amber combination, and not just Amber Steel, good at like playing Sing Together songs. So it's still a very important card for Amber to have, I think.
I agree. Yeah. Next one is Sisu Embodied Warrior, 3-cost inkable, 1/4 quest for 2. This character gets +1 strength for each card in your opponent's hands. I mean, this card was played a lot when it was like Flynn Sisu. That was the talk of the town back in set 4, right? So, what are your thoughts?
For quite a while, this was like a very, very strong card, and then just kind of entered in an era where it was too easy for some decks to like get this to low strength.
What's the card you used to
advantage of the effect?
What's the card you used to play to try and combat this in your blue steel? Argus, isn't it? Like the Cyclops, the 4 one.
Yeah. Argus was so good in Bologna. And then like sometimes I was like bricking, but I just played a couple Argis, keeping the Sisus in check. It was so good. But outside of that, Sisu has been a menace, and I could see it being at least decent going forward again.
Yeah, I could see this card like making its way back into the meta potentially, but it's very difficult to see what type of Ruby decks we'll have as well.
It highly depends on how many cards are the other decks using, because like this is much better against slower decks that play less cards and draw more cards, and then it's like this 3-cost 2 quester that's like impossible to favorably trade into.
Yeah, here's a weird interaction, and I guess I haven't played against this card in such a while to even remember how this works. But I'm pretty sure if this has like 5 strength and I have a certain amount of cards in my hand, and I play like a World's Greatest Criminal Mind on it, right? It still gets banished. It doesn't work.
No.
But
Like,
it's a
you
valid
can,
it's a valid target when you target it. But like what when it resolves, it says, oh, it's not a valid target.
I mean, I don't know why exactly it is, but it's also like the reason I know for sure is
Okay.
that you can like if it has 4 strength, you
Mm-hmm.
can Medusa it because
Mm-hmm.
like it checks for how much strength it has when after you play it, or like you can
Okay.
brawl it if it has 3 strength before like the brawl is still.
Ah, right. I never played enough of these mirror matches to actually know that. That's a very interesting point, though, because I feel like a lot of players maybe didn't know that, right? I could imagine a lot of people
Maybe.
wouldn't know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And the final card that we have today is Nala. 2 cost uninkable 0/2 that quest for 2. While this character has no damage, he gets +1 lore and gains resist +2. Um, yeah, a bit of a weird card. Like this just basically goes in the category of you could basically consider this just like another like 2 cost linkable 1/1 that quest for 3. Obviously, it's not a 1/1; it's like a 0. It's a 0/3 technically. That quest for 3, but I don't know because I don't believe we've had that type of character within Steel so far. We've had it in like Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald and in Amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
It,
mean,
it reminds it, re-
go ahead.
it reminds me of the Mr. Arrow. It's
Mm-hmm.
like in Steel, it's a 1/2 quest for 2 that's inkable.
That has
And quest,
resist 1. Yeah.
yeah, that also has resist 1. So this one, I guess, like threatening to quest for 3 while also having resist. I don't think that's something we've had before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but still, like 0 strength is a huge downside. But if you can like protect this somehow by
Mm-hmm.
also either re-readying it or maybe giving it evasive, this is suddenly very, very tough to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of initially think of just maybe putting 1 or 2 of these into like a aggro amber steel that you can just like puke out some cards maybe.
Yeah, you
Um,
could.
but
Then you just quest, play Sven, ready it. What set is Sven from?
Sven is 5, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Okay, so you
Sven's
have Sven.
pretty good. Well, Sven, it just when you play it, just lets you ready anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty good, honestly. That does not seem too shabby at all. You're giving people ideas now, Moyen. We're gonna be playing against these Amber Steel aggro Sven Nala decks. Man, that's gonna be tough to deal with. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the cards that we have so far. Again, the reason why this is such a long episode was originally I thought they would have revealed all of the cards by the time we've posted this this episode, but there'll be a lore cast tomorrow, so you know that maybe the rest of the cards will come out then. But I do want to say thank you so much for sticking with us throughout this entire video. I had a lot of fun discussing many of these cards with you, Moyen, and yeah, I'm excited for next week because next week our topic hopefully will be discussing new decks, like early post-rotation decks. Now that I'm assuming by the time next week rolls around, we should have all of the cards revealed. So yeah, how do you feel about that? Are you excited to jump into that a little bit, Moyen?
Yeah, definitely. I mean that's one of the best times to be like card game players when there's a new card pool and you get brewing on some new decks. So I'm very much looking forward.
Amazing, yeah. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast, the number one thing you can do is leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, your local podcast platform. There's a video version available of this over on youtube.com/@podcana podcast. Hit the subscribe button there. Twitters are @kawatech_CG and @Moyen_HS. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.